Okay. We are live, and welcome to Masculine Geek number 36. We have with us some special guests, and we are once again flying by the seat of our pants. Anything goes, no holds barred, amazing Wednesday episode. So, you already know the three of us. We have with us Modern Life Dating John, with his amazing background as usual, and his robe and presence.
Yes.
We have Oddball and his Shermans, Mr. Aaron Clary. Everyone knows him. And then last but not least, we have Mr. Jack Napier, who has just woken up and is gracing us with his presence as well. So we know he loves us because it's almost 3 a.m. where he is.
Wow.
Yes.
You guys are worth it. I have declined pussy at this time of the morning.
Wow.
I'm not kidding.
Pass up
I'm not
pussy
kidding.
for Masculine Geek. Holy
There you
shit.
go.
Oh,
TJ,
damn.
TJ, let it roll. Let it rip.
All right.
Fantastic. Evening, CJ Mutter. How are you? We have one person in the chat and 5 watching already.
Before wenches. Just remember that, gentlemen.
Jonathan from MLD equals gay from Atham. There you go.
Did he really write that? That's
He
solid.
did, yes.
John needs to be introduced to the world of Atham.
Guess who's not getting into body language mastery?
Guess
You're
who's
cut
paying
off.
double?
What's up, Ralstonian? How are you? Good to see you again. DJ hipster. Okay, so excellent. We haven't seen it. We may go check it out while we're in Ocean City.
Apparently, I'm not shit since Atham's not even putting me to equate to something.
He really isn't, yeah. But
Apparently, we ain't shit.
That may be a good thing. I don't know.
Fuck
All right.
So, all right. So since you mentioned it, John, you have another Body Life Mastery course coming up.
Yeah, so it's body language mastery.
Language.
It's coming out on this Friday, September 27th, September 28th, September 29th, September 30th, and October 1st. These are the only days that you're allowed to get in for enrollment period. You get a head-to-toe breakdown of female body language. It's been an extremely popular, far more popular than I have ever expected it to be. It's like I've already got some guys who've paid me in full via Bitcoin, which is like huge if you know about the value of Bitcoin and what's going on. So that's happening this weekend, and after you get the whole body language course, then we engage in 3 weeks of daily seminars that are held at home. Like the Q&A webinar style, they are done for 4 weeks 3 weeks consecutively. And then to top it all off, you get into the men's only mastermind group, which is where we all focus on the big 3, which is money, muscles, and game. So if that's interested to you, you want to go to modernlifedating.com/body language. Click on the link to get on the waiting list. Because if not, the price goes up to $597 in Q4. You do not want to miss out. Take action today.
Fantastic. Excellent.
Thank you.
And of course. TJ, you were about to say something and I rudely cut you off.
No, that's all right. It happens.
It does.
I figured we could all do I'll do a quick not geek and tell, but it's just showing what I'm drinking.
Oh, yeah.
This is a very special. It's a combination of New Belgium, which is a ale, and then they took Knob Creek bourbon oak barrels and aged their beer in it. So it's this really awesome. It feels like you're drinking bourbon, but you're drinking a beer instead.
Okay.
So it's a really good. It's a very special release. I don't know how long they're going to have it out, but I don't really drink new. I've never had New Belgium, to be honest. I'm not a huge drinker of their beers, but this one's really good. So Oak Spire.
Oak Spire. I like the name.
That's what it's called. Yeah, it's
cool.
good. It's got a good finish. It's also 9%. I remember I was over in England and I would go up and look at their beers, and it was all 3%, 4%. I'm like, what is this? And then I see the 7%. alcohol beer, and I go, it's got to be American. And of course, it's the IPA from
Pretty
America.
much.
Yeah.
But then I realized I didn't come 6,000 miles across the globe to drink American beer. I could do that every single day. Where I
pretty
live.
much.
So I'm getting the they're doing the pump ale that has that really bread-like taste, and it's also room temperature. Like, I'm so glad the revolution was successful. look what we would have had to deal with.
Nice. Now, Rob, are you smoking your usual? I know you're drinking your usual. What are you smoking?
I'm doing another one of my Perdomo, whatchamacallits. Yeah, it's my usual. Because I'm saving the Oliva Series 5 for you a-holes when I come and see you.
There you go.
So that's what it's on. And even Aaron's getting one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I hope I can smoke it. I'm looking forward to it. That'd be great.
Well, you should hope. I should hope you can smoke it.
I've had trouble with my my throat and my voice here, and
Really?
I gotta put it to rest. Yeah, I mean, I got you
Well,
guys
you'll
as
have a week of not having to use your voice except to yell at us.
Almighty. You think that until you have to discipline the boy, and the boy needs a lot of discipline and yelling. Otherwise, the boy doesn't listen. He doesn't get it.
Happy, who's the boy?
I think
That would be
See how little he gets it? He doesn't
would
even
be
get that. That's how much.
you.
Right up there. Everybody point to the boy.
oh shit.
So no, if I can, I will. I absolutely will. But
Okay.
I gotta do your guys' podcast. I gotta do a podcast on Friday. I gotta be with Angelo, and then I'm on with who's the guys?
Yeah.
Rolo and the tall Canadian bald Rich Cooper.
Rich.
I gotta go on their show. I gotta be with those.
Yeah,
The tall bald guy and the short not bald guy. I have to go on with those two elderly
Old guy
gentlemen.
with the glasses.
He's gonna be on. You're gonna be on Rule Zero. Yeah, we're gonna be on Rule Zero talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, you're gonna be the
MGTOW
okay.
revolution. I'll be on there too
Oh, nice. Okay. And that's this Saturday?
this Saturday. Get ready, boys, because the MGTOWs are angry. They're blowing up their dolls and
Wait,
coming
hey.
in armies.
What is something because I'm so unplugged, but is there backstory to this or was this
Anything that
prompted?
involves
With the
cows
blow
or
dolls?
anything that really involved dolls.
Up stove.
Well, basically, we kind of had a little civil war when we were on the Red Man group, and the now leader of the Red Man group, he's a couple generations inbred, and the relationship with him and his sister is falling apart. So he's under a lot of emotional.
Oh, you're
stress.
talking about the president of the sphere. Okay,
Yeah,
I wasn't
so-
sure which one you were talking about.
He broke up with his sister, and now he has a doll, and it's a George Bruno doll. But
Come on.
But anyway, we've been talking a lot of shit to this guy because he's just an incompetent businessman, and he's like basically the MGTOW community is like the complete opposite. Like I preach like you make money, make muscles, learn a game. These things will help you get a gaggle of women, and they will help you be above average, especially in today's day and age, at least in the United States, where mediocrity seems to be on the menu everywhere you go. Now more than ever. So I mean, these guys, they're just upset because we hold them accountable. And if you took a look at the thumbnail and stuff, you see the kind of guys that buy dolls. Like they're not necessarily the icons of fitness and sexual health, as you would as you would imagine.
Savage.
So Rich calls him out because Rich is successful multi-million-dollar entrepreneur who has and he his sexual market value was a little bit lower because he had the burns on his body, but he just made it happen. And so yeah, that's a little bit of
that's the backdrop.
That's the backdrop.
Rich tweeted something out, and now
it's been us too.
Rich said some things in life are your fault, and then the zombie apocalypse descended upon
Yeah.
No.
Okay. All right.
He brought down the fire, apparently, or brought down the tears anyway.
I'm glad I'm coming into this one blind then, because I have.
Cappy, you know what it's like to go after the basement dwellers and have them come back after
Basement
you.
dwellers.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
you
need-
said, fuck you, Target. I just wanted to buy some goddamn shoes.
No, here's the thing. There's just guys who they coalesce around something that they need to explain why they're a loser, right? And look, there are guys who are losers, but they also say, I'm a loser. How do I fix that?
Yeah.
And then they go change themselves, right?
Yeah.
So loser who goes and changes themselves as opposed to a loser who says, I'm going to go find something to justify why I'm a loser. And anyone who questions why I'm a loser is going to get attacked. I'm going to focus all their energy.
Yeah.
That's called the zombie apocalypse. And there's tons of it.
okay.
Yeah, it just comes down to you, these people not wanting to put in work, but at the same time, just everyone else is a mirror. So they're like, oh, wait, I'm a complete, like as TJ says, I'm a complete loser. So rather than actually make their lives better, they're going to bring everyone else down to them.
And how many of these guys who claim to be MGTOWs have actually read Rob Fetters' work on MGTOW? Yeah, exactly. You know, when I was reading that work, I was thinking, okay, this is written for a blue collar guy who probably was an electrician. He was a plumber. He worked a good, steady job and got divorce raped. And he's imparting some wisdom onto the next generation, right? But any of these guys, no, they haven't read any of this stuff. They haven't.
Rich set on a particular group of people's precious sacred cow. They all read, and now they attacked him, and that's called the zombie apocalypse. Is that the terminology you cool kids on the internet use now? It's the zombie apocalypse.
They're called MGTOW.
I know what MGTOW is.
We're schooling the boomer.
Oh my god!
Hey, you filmed from a fucking potato for like 9 years. I don't know how
Right here, baby. Right here, John.
I don't know.
Older than you.
Caught up you are. I think you finally upgraded to a nice camera here. So I'm
Look at that SD card. Look at that SD card. This has
Was that
12 whole gigabytes on it.
Has that like 128 megabytes on it?
I had this kind of happen the other day that you don't.
Is there like a detachment where you have to like crank it up to get?
It's like,
It's a ripcord.
Ripcord.
No. Then he was asking where, does he still need to sign into AOL in order to get on the internet? And I said, no, they've come up with some new things.
You know what?
Along the way.
You guys, I've never had trouble with my Windows XP operating system here.
I will give you
No,
that,
you
Aaron.
just had
Windows
trouble
X-
with your modem connection because
There we
I'm
go.
down in fucking Vegas and I don't have internet. Because Pigeon have to
I
make
can't
it
show
happen.
my face.
You don't need to use your 14.4K modem. They've even upgraded past the 56K. They have DSL and they have Ethernet, and they also came up with this thing called wireless.
So
Whoa, TJ,
wait,
slow
hold it. Isn't this coming from the guy that has to go next door to his church to get the internet?
That was
No,
about
I
a
got the
year
internet
ago.
now.
Oh, you got the internet now. Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
just
but
wondering.
that's only within the
Stealing
year,
from
to
the
be honest. To
Lord?
be fair,
hey, I had mobile data. I just was a cheapskate. Hey, I was a minimalist in terms
I
of.
know you had to walk past the caribou and around the bear to get to the Prairie Church to get yourself some broadband internet. Yeah, I understand.
Ralstonian Report is saying, gosh, what is he saying? I just lost it. Zombie apocalypse began last Friday when kids skipped school. You know what that was? That was the modern day children's crusade.
Children of the corn. Right there.
Children of the fucking corn. That's what that
And
was.
did you know our president and his sister are the ones who gave birth to Greta? I mean,
Look at those eyes.
they're exactly the same. Those dead, lifeless eyes filled with autism and Asperger's. Those are the same.
Jack,
Do I
how
dare ask?
you? How dare you?
I've been purposely trying to not know who that is. Do you think I can make it through the week? Will she go away soon?
No,
I just keep seeing this ugly kid. Is this like a David Hogg except
Yes,
a
it's
female?
David Hogg except female.
Okay,
No,
but I don't need to
they're
hear.
probably
yeah.
related somehow.
Yeah, they probably are. They're probably fucking first cousins.
Yeah.
Happy. Imagine you knocked up a girl. She continually drank throughout the entire pregnancy, like that kind of thing.
No, I saw it. It's an ugly thing. I just don't want to know what it is. I don't want to know what it is. It just seemed like another.
I would continue your ignorance and not even follow any of that.
I'm only going to listen to hot leftists from now on because they're so rare. They might actually be independent
saying,
thinking.
I'm going to listen to an entrepreneurial communist.
I'm just saying it's what Tulsi Gabbard. Nobody would throw a shot into her.
Who's that?
So what?
Everybody look up Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, did you see her posting her workout videos? I was like, listen, lady, don't you want to be fucking president? What are you doing posting this like hot body babe remix?
also, like she knows she's not going to be president, and she knows her looks are the. I agree with her on some stuff. Not going to knock that away from her. Sorry, I almost knocked her.
Call me.
But that's the only reason a lot of people are listening and like, oh, there's an attractive woman running for the Democrat ticket. Wow.
But I hate to sound so.
She's from Hawaii. Like if you lived in Hawaii, you just know how corrupt the government is there.
Yeah, so she's probably corrupt as hell. I mean, and all that stuff. But she's probably the most. She's probably the one thing that when they get up on the stage, people don't want to like shield their eyes from, right?
All my point was with Tulsi Gabbard and just in general good-looking Democrats is they are so bankrupt of any kind of thought or idea, and they're so monolithic in their thinking, even a religion, that being attractive, even though that's truly superficial, that indicates that there's actually something different about that person, not only physically, but also in terms of their thought. So anytime if it's an ugly leftist, which it seems to be Hansel and Gretel or whoever this gal is, I don't care. There's nothing new. She's not going to say anything interesting. David Hogg, ugly little piece of shit that girls don't want to fuck and guys want to fuck up his face. I mean, there's you can Hillary Clinton, ugly. Bernie Sanders, ugly. Ocasio-Cortez, you could put an ocean liner through the gap in her teeth. There's so when I see a good-looking Democrat, could even be male or female, you're kind of like, okay, you're different. You must have had some discipline. So it is something to stand out. It definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole. I mean, women are so dumb. I just think that like
that's the great one.
The whole reason
women are so dumb.
The whole reason for this whole Greta chick is just emotional manipulation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anybody with a fraction of a brain cell knows that this 16-year-old kid is not having these intricate thoughts about climate change, and they're using a female young girl to stand before Congress and all this shit. It's almost as fucking dumb as that little girl statue that's in front of the bull I believe it's in Chicago.
She looks like that was her statue. And the
you know what? It's interesting when people on Twitter, like when you mention these things that John's talking about, their response is, "Oh, would you hate children?" I mean, come on, what the come?
Yes,
ridiculous.
Well, that's
we hate children.
Yes,
there's a video. Okay, and then you guys can talk. There's a video because I like buffalo in South Dakota, but you're not supposed to go near them. There's another video you can look. The buffalo just knocks this kid over. It's really fucking funny. It's funny. All right, continue on.
Well, thank you.
We hate children. At least Aaron and I do.
The bull and girl statue, right?
I don't think that people on the left talk about this Greta gal as much as people on the right. It's the same thing with that barmaid from the Bronx. I don't think people on the left talk about her as much as people on the right. Like people who hate her talk more about her than people who like her. Does that make sense? I've never heard. I haven't seen a single person talk about this the blonde the climate change gal. I haven't seen anybody talk about her in a positive way. Just like I don't really see anybody talk about the barmaid from the Bronx in a positive way.
The difference is that the left is using them. They don't have to talk about them because they're already using them.
Right.
And one question about that statue with the bull and the girl. Like the girl was placed years after that bull statue was there, right?
Why does anybody want to stop a fucking bull market? Like that's the dumb, let alone a little girl. Like I'm going to stand in the way of economic prosperity, which most women
strong,
do.
Independent femme power.
That's the irony is it's symbolizing the irrationality of female confidence.
I think it's so
that
fucking
dumb. She thinks that the bull is going to just stop for it just runs right.
Why do you want to stop a bull market? Can anybody explain that to me? Why would you want to get in the way of a bull market?
Because 90% of crypto people are men, and we should have more women in crypto because we need to ruin that too. Like
91%,
91% are men.
We're 9% plagued by ignorance.
All they want to do is look like they're doing something. And if you're really bored, you can look up an article I wrote called The Destruction Principle. But what it basically boils down to is to do true good, to be successful in this world, not only do you have to learn the millennia of stuff we've discovered through science and experimentation on, then you got to build on top of it. And then, so you got to crawl the giant, and then you got to stand on top of its shoulders in your own way. To create something good. But it's much easier, and you get an ego boost when you look at all these giants that the various sciences and men throughout history have built and say, that giant is flawed, that giant is sexist, that giant has ingrained discrimination or whatever, and we need to take that giant down. And so I named it the Destruction Principle because they don't care. If they take it down, that's a lot. They can still call it progress if they believe in the right but erroneous political ideology. And we're fighting the system. We're taking this evil thing down. We're getting rid of this social or societal plague or ill. Look at us. We're brave and courageous. When it's like, no, you're just a lazy fuck who doesn't want to work and contribute good things to society, but you're an egotist. You still need to think like, oh, I'm saving the world, or I'm changing the planet, or I'm experiencing children's lives, whatever the fucking pedophiles nowadays say when they're trying to save the children or save the world. And that's what that is. If you look at, I'd say damn well near 95% of the stuff you see on the news, internet or not, when it comes to this particular case, women and their success, they haven't done a fucking thing. All they've done is look in the mirror and like, look, we're women and we're having a convention and we're having a seminar and we put a statue in front of a bull. It's like, bitch, you haven't programmed a fucking algorithm to predict one trade. You know, it's all show. That's all it is, because none of them have the fucking work ethic to actually do something.
Or mental competence as well.
All they need is a tech regatta, Cappy. A tech regatta in Seattle. For those of you who are not aware, I sent Cappy this link to this tech regatta in Seattle a couple months ago, and Cappy just...
Tech regatta? Were they on boats?
No, it was about how you would like... I'm not making this up. And
He's not.
I was going back on this. One of the seminars was how to keep women from backstabbing each other.
And I have had several female friends, several female agents in the field who don't swallow the Kool-Aid, who actually do work. They've gone to these things. And I'm like, so do you actually like learn, oh, here's this new coding technique, or here's this new chemistry, if it's in a chemistry convention or something? And it's just the hate on men fest. It's just the knitting circle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, when does the fucking work get done? I mean, when are you done celebrating about how awesome you are? Actually go fucking prove that you're goddamn. When do you actually do the awesome shit? And they're going to ride this roller coaster of celebrating their vagina as long as they possibly can, because celebrating vagina is a hell of a lot easier than coding or engineering or actuarial science. And so it is tiring now. Yeah. I am just wondering, when is the rest of society going to get fucking sick and tired of this yay for us women article 3 times a fucking day?
Never.
Apparently we're not.
Yeah, exactly.
We're never going to get tired of it.
Never.
The thirst is real. The thirst is real.
The thirst, it's that when you've got a significant part of the population that benefits from something, even if it's wrong, they're not going to change it. There's no incentive for them to change it.
I don't know. When you guys get sick and tired of Dick Day,
Yeah,
like every day, let's celebrate Dick. Hey,
yeah, but we're
John got himself, and John was brave and courageous, and he is so amazing with his new bathrobe. He got it over, and it was made by Jack over in the Netherlands or Holland or Belgium, whatever the fuck country. I don't know. It's all messed up, and we've saved it 3 times
dared
already.
to have
No,
a Dutchman touch his clothes.
Right. And then the week, Rob, on this courageous Dick Day, he grew and groomed his beard very well. And I mean, even not only would women get sick of it, us guys would get sick of it. But I guess women are never sick and tired of looking in the fucking mirror.
One thing, solipsism.
Yeah.
Explain.
Jack's right.
Well, they're
Go ahead, Jack.
they are so full of themselves, drinking the Kool-Aid and things like that. And as we know, solipsism, the world, they experience the world. No, other way around. The world experiences them. Like, it's all about them. And then they have the news outlets and the media and the movies and the whatever and the shenanigans and yada, 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 telling them that pussy is golden and it is great and it is the bearer of life and the giver of everything and the stopper of bulls.
Spreader of herpes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Literally. Those bitches are diseased as fuck over there.
Did you know, by the way, did you know that over 50% of American women now has an STD? Over 50.
Where's that stat? I got to read this.
Yeah, and you got and not to
guys,
bring this into it, but you have to back out race. You have to
Stay
back
safe,
out
my
race from
friends.
that.
I like that.
Stay
Well,
safe, my friends.
then it's a bit less. Then
Stay
it's less.
safe. Stay
Well, link-
safe.
Link me in the private chat because I'll talk about this on my channel.
Okay.
Anyway, I just the question I'd have for Jack is: at some time, is there a satiation point of self-celebration? Because I can only like myself so much, and inevitably I'm like, well, I'm bored of the Aaron Clary show,
Yeah.
and I would get so bored of myself, I'd even become desperate enough to tune in to the TJ Martinell show. I mean, you can only take so much.
I know.
But
Yeah.
apparently
That's my business
women
model.
cannot. Apparently they have this unlimited desire of self-celebration.
Yep, you have a Y chromosome. That's why. I mean, thank God. But it's just like that's what I noticed on this. Like,
Oh, my bad. 20%.
So, well, that's a big fucking gap.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I was confusing something.
That's
My
all
bad.
right. So, anyways, what I was saying is that, like, obviously I live in Tokyo, right? So I'm like used to Japanese culture, just basically shitting on women, properly so. But they're fucking happy as shit over here, but like not like shitting on them, but in the sense like they actually hold women to an esteem. You're like, okay, if you want to talk about how fucking awesome you are, you better produce the results. And then they're like, oh wait, you're not producing the results. So what you need to do is shut the fuck up. But when I watch, obviously it's football season right now, and I watch American marketing and stuff like that, commercials, etc. What really drives me up a fucking wall is like when I watch these NFL. This is why the NFL is failing, right? When I watch these NFL commercials and they're just constantly jerking off the dicks of women, like every fucking piece of commercial in the United States is just. Obviously, it's targeting women, and it's also like, yay, women are awesome. You're so great. Men are so dumb. Ha, 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 ha. Buy our product. And it's just like super, super cringe. And you have to realize the normies, they're dumb enough to believe this. They're dumb enough to believe what the big box tells them. And that's why I went back, and I just saw the climate of things. I went back with my Japanese girl, right? This was about 2 weeks ago. I went back and like, first of all, I was fucking higher than a motherfucker because I was smoking weed the whole time. And second of all, every time we went into like a restaurant or some service-based business, it was infuriating to me that they automatically defaulted the attention and the decision-making to my girlfriend. And I was like, motherfucker, she barely speaks English. Like I was just like, that's just the climate that the USA has become. When in Japan, it's like literally the exact opposite. Like if a group of women show up, they're like, can we speak to the man in charge? Like who is leading this who's the geese of these gander? Who's being led here? And me, honestly, it's just I see this nonstop like, yay, we're women, yay, we're awesome party. And I think even mainstream media, I think even the guys who are on like on the fence about like criticizing it, even those guys are like, all right, this shit is disgusting, and it's getting ridiculous. And
it's almost like Handmaid's Tale is going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh my gosh, we can't do anything. We're gonna have Handmaid's Tale. It's like, yeah, you're basically doing everything possible to make
What
it.
the fuck I miss? I spilled fucking beer everywhere. So
he's describing how in the U.S. and I can tell you from I do a lot of my work out of taverns or restaurants or bars or whatever, and yeah, you show up, and if there's a couple, the waiter or waitress is immediately going to look at the wife or the woman, girlfriend, or whatever, and say, "Where would you guys like to sit?" You obviously make the decision because you live in America, right? And whereas in Japan, that's not. From what John's saying, that's not the case. And I'm saying that they're doing everything possible in this country to make it so that the Handmaid's Tale is a self-fulfilling prophecy, because they get to the point where it's either that or, God knows what's next. I just don't understand. I don't know how things could get worse. It's just get worse before you fix bayonets.
So what is the Handmaid's Tale? Because as far as I know, that's not like I've seen that.
Yeah,
like
it's some communist crap where women all wear the same uniform and they carry the children. They against their will they carry men's children.
Oh god!
Right? Because of course that's their existential crisis, is carrying a beta male's child. Right? So. Because of course, if it was Chad or Conan the Barbarian running the
Rob,
country, if it was Genghis Khan,
even Rob,
if it was Genghis Khan, like if the book was about all the concubines of Genghis Khan or all the women he impregnated, it wouldn't be a dystopian. It'd be like some sort of historical romance where there's that one concubine who happens to win over his heart, and she bears that special kid that carries on his legacy or whatever. But in the New England area, it's a beta male running the country, and it's for women it's a nightmare or whatever. But I was just saying now, I mean, we're looking at what's going on now, where a 13-year-old girl can have an emotional meltdown, and we have to basically change the politics of 330 million people because one of them had an autistic spurg out, which
I just see it's going to be complete disengagement after a while. One group's going to go and celebrate themselves. The other group is going to be, we don't have time to celebrate you all the time, and we got more important shit to do. Are going to live our lives. Because I don't know, any of you guys watch TV anymore? I'm surprised, John, you even watched Sports Ball.
Yeah, I mean, I watch it just because my digital empire is blossoming, so I have a little free time now. But I watch it at night. But with the commercials, like I'm just like, I want to go to America and launch an ad agency, because also people just seem like dumber. I think I can close anybody on any deal just because there's so many women in charge, and like women naturally just default to. Guys, what you guys don't realize, you guys in the audience as well, women know men are better than them. They know better than men know that women are better than them, that men are better than them. But it drives them up. It drives the ones that have a chip on their shoulder up the wall, and they naturally default and listen to you. So I feel like I can go back and just pitch and make some shit happen with advertisement agencies, because I think these companies are so caught in because let's be honest, originality is pretty much dead, especially like Hollywood's showing how originality is dead, because it's just, I mean, what are we on, like Transformer and Fast and the Furious, like 55 each?
Hard pie. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's insane.
Well, and they're going to remake the third remake to a Disney movie.
Yeah, and so like I just think that's what they're doing, and in regards to everybody's just kind of monkey see, monkey do. But I think they don't realize the power of masculine advertisement, because quite frankly, the culture in America shits on men nonstop, 24 hours.
It's been doing that for decades now. Yeah.
And it's finally caught up. But now guys like me, guys like you guys, we have a voice to say back, and there's finally some pushback. And now they're trying to silence us with censorship. But all they're doing is just pushing the pendulum in the other direction. Because it's funny, because I had Hot Dude Con, right? I went to my men's meetup, whatever, in Orlando, Florida. and we were talking to some like really like not these girls like weren't even like, oh, she's kind of cute. We were talking to some fucking sexy ass Latinas, right? And I was like, under the impression that they're gonna be like, oh, like what is this? Some like male chauvinist group or whatever. And then one of the guys was like, yeah, we're like a men's empowerment group. And then the girls were like, God, that's so refreshing. They're like, there's so many women empowerment groups out there. Like, it's finally nice to see a men's empowerment group. And then one of the girls was like,
Exactly.
take my phone number, take my phone number, like aggressively trying to put her phone number on me. And I was there with my girl. I took her number, but I couldn't meet up with her. It's just like,
well, no, it's crazy, John. You say that some of the stuff you were saying about coming over here and doing marketing stuff, it's absolutely true. If you come in and you got to do it carefully, but if you come off as a very I don't know, like, don't ask me to explain the way that they think, but if you come off the right way, but you're aggressive and just overly arrogant and confident, you could pretty much sell them not only a Brooklyn Bridge, but you could sell them real estate in Florida, and you could probably sell them any like sand in the desert. Like if whatever it is, as long as you make them feel good about their decision. If you make them feel good about it and you appeal to the emotions and the horrible transaction, horrible business decision, but we felt good about it, right?
How do you think I slept with so many women? Overall, it's a terrible decision. It's going to be a one-sided affair. You're probably going to be disappointed, and I'm definitely not going to give you any babies or commitment or go be seen with you in public. But I'll make you feel good about it down to that moment, and then it's all on you after that, sister.
It's downhill from there. Something like that. Yeah, I guess you could put it that way. No, but it's just true that if you're a confident, assertive, in a healthy manner, man or male, you're going to. It's not that hard to stand out because they're so used to men just saying whatever it is, like agreeing, being nice, or they're a jackass, or just somebody who's just there to argue with people. But if you're doing it in a very assertive, confident way, but you're not being an idiot, the opportunities are pretty amazing out there. But they are
amazing.
The other thing is an agency or some sort of marketing firm that it didn't explicitly appeal to men. It just did it implicitly. All you have to do is not hate men, and you can sell a product.
Yep.
That's pretty much
not that hard.
That's all you have to do. Just sell a safety razor or some sort of like razor.
Yep.
And say, we don't hate men. That's your motto. You will sell razors.
Even
when Gillette did that, their whole little thing, which obviously that marketing campaign was led by a woman, massive failure, $1 billion failure.
The same woman who directed the vagina commercial or something like that, right?
Well, she was the director or whatever, but the person behind it was a female, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she obviously caught a lot of flack. For some reason, this moron is still employed, but that's good on them for that. At least they checked the box on their fucking
billions. They lost billions as a result.
They checked the box on their diversity quota with her. But the thing is, as soon as that happened, because you guys were talking about being a company, not necessarily that celebrates men, but just doesn't shit on men. As soon as that happened, Dollar Shave Club, which has been, I mean, talking about a fucking successful business model.
Yeah,
Dollar Shave Club,
they swooped right in.
They're just like, hey, we're here, guys, or like, just some kind of like, snide tweet.
Exactly.
Like, we're here. And let me tell you guys something. I used to use Gillette like seriously since I started shaving. So when I was 17, I've been a Gillette customer for 16 years.
I thought you were going to say 6 months, but okay.
No, 16 years, right? So since that thing came out, I would never send a single dollar to Gillette in regards to razor blades, shaving cream. If my girlfriend were to go buy me products, she knows she's not allowed to buy me that shit. And I will never, unless they come out with a formal apology, I will never, ever fucking buy their products again. And that is just another testimony to like how basically incompetent they are when it comes to doing their fucking job. That's like, imagine me coming out with a Tampax commercial and I'm like, stop bleeding everywhere, you sluts. like that is like that's like the level of mental. That's like the same thing.
Oh my gosh, it's true. It's true. That's what it's like. And what's crazy is this marketing person is supposed to sell product. Instead, she cost them, what was it? How many billions?
Oh,
like $5 billion or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
it's a write down, which is
that is a hell of a costly affirmative action hire there. Right?
Yeah.
That's an expensive diversity.
$8 billion. $8 billion.
$8 billion. It's like, good
That's
Lord.
It's the same in Star Wars and things like that. Like, you've got a woman in power and she's like, well, I like women, so my audience must like women, and I hate men, so they must hate men. They're
did you know how they wrote the
projecting
script?
their own ideology and way of thinking onto everybody.
Well, it wasn't just that. She took the script and she
Pooped
wrote
on it.
And then no, this is literal. This is the literal, which is even worse than crapping on it, because then it's like, you might miss parts of it that was crappy, metaphorically speaking. She passed it on to someone else who was a woman who looked at it, and then she wrote a bunch of random stuff that it was like, we just want to shove this stuff into the story so that it'll be there, and then they pass it off. So of course, why do we have purple-haired HR lady
general gender studies?
Yeah, gender studies professor running the rebellion, and Akbar just dies randomly, unceremoniously, and then she gets this grand, huge ceremonial death.
Yeah.
It's because these people. This goes to show that a lot of people say, "Oh, well, they don't care, market, and they're all concerned about the profit." No, they're not. Nobody who's concerned about making money tries to alienate their customer base. You morons! It's because America's raised a whole bunch of zombies who've now infected these companies.
Yeah, I hate Kathleen Kennedy. And it's terrible because like I'm such a pathetic Star Wars fan. Like I'm scrounging for hopes that Luke Skywalker is going to be alive in Episode 9, and I'm just honestly, dude. I went to the Disney Star Wars as well, right?
Yeah.
And
were you allowed? Did you have to give in your penis? Like we can't have that.
He had to go incognito.
I went in beta mode. No, I'm just joking. No, I mean,
identify as a binary woman. Wave your fucking lightsaber around and show them that you are the way, you are the Force. What?
I just, I paid $200 to get my lightsaber, which already is fucking ridiculous. But thank God I've had a good year. You get taken into this back room, and like you have like this little mini ceremony, and then like they do the stuff. Yeah, like this is part of the attract. You get like a bonus attraction, and they talk.
Take you to a dark room, and there's a ceremony.
Yeah, it's a lightsaber ceremony. No, listen, it's actually
hand you a jar of Vaseline.
It's pretty cool. I will have to say that the ceremony and stuff is pretty cool. When you all light up your lightsabers, everybody puts their lightsaber in the air. There's like visual of the audio effects and everything. However, the part of the script that the actor has to say is like. He like talks about Luke Skywalker, and he's like, then there's a new young promising Jedi. And I was like, don't fucking say Rey. Don't fucking say Rey. Don't fucking say Rey. And he's like, her name is Rey. I was like, fuck this motherfucker, dude. And I could just hear in their like Disney script, because I used to be an actor, so I know that script that this guy's memorized. And I just know that he's like, she came to pave the way for the new Jedi and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know, man. I don't think Luke Skywalker's coming back. And as a Star Wars fan, that is like literally the letdown of a century. Think of how fucking stupid you have to be to make a bad Star Wars movie and just know the one terrible Star Wars movie that came out, which had the literally the largest global backlash of any movie, was headed up and led by a woman. I mean, that's all I got to say.
Like they trumped the Christmas special. Let that sink in.
Oh,
by how bad it was.
Died during the Christmas special.
That's true.
They just, when things were going bad during that, they just said, fighting the furries at 11. Right? And then you just waited for half an hour. You're like, oh, okay, great. Then you're watching this movie and you're like, oh my God, they're basically destroying Luke Skywalker. They're basically destroying Admiral Akbar. They're destroying everyone that you ever cared about.
Yeah.
It's just, I am, you know.
What if we didn't hear just the thought? How much do we want to? Since it's not going to stop, because that's the programming. These are truly not independent-minded people. They may be reasonably high IQ, like they can do math, and they can do this thing with the computer or this stuff.
They can do a tech regatta.
They have no independent thought, and it's not going to change. The programming that they've got about this is what you're going to do because we told you to do this in college, and it's good. What if, at minimum, why don't we just? Who cares? Like, I didn't go see any of the new Star Wars. I don't watch any new TV. It also has helped out with my health a little bit. And they're not going to listen. I think it's one of those things where you got to let it run its course. Maybe a truly even more retarded, even more unbelievable thing like the Gillette commercial was truly outstandingly stupid. That would come up upon the radar. But what does it matter to talk now? Oh my God, Feminist X did feminist dumbass thing telling men to chop penis off, and it was in a Colgate commercial. Who cares? I'm just wondering, wouldn't we be better off, talking about how Jack grows his hair out real long, what product he uses in Belgium or the Netherlands or Holland or whatever country it is?
I'll answer the question on the Star Wars thing. The reason is because they had one shot to do this. Right, but if you got one shot, I gotcha. I see what you did there. They had one opportunity to do this right. They had Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, and a bunch of the other actors who are still there, right? So they could have done a good film series. And they're never going to have that opportunity again because a bunch of the actors are either dead or they're just not interested in doing it again.
Or dead in the movie.
And they chose, Kepi, you were talking about, and I referenced this in a blog post, how Cowboy Bebop ended before people were really finished with it. But nobody looks at it ended on a high note.
That's the way to go.
It ended on a high note. They did not let a series just end on a high note because what they had was all this canon, Star Wars canon through the books and all this other stuff. And they threw it all out and completely ignored it, didn't look at any of the story arcs, didn't look for inspiration at all with that. They instead created this thing that's just a complete disaster.
Well, I understand what you're upset what they did to it, but it means
it's a loss of potential. It's a cost opportunity. They're never going to be able to do that again. And so I'm guessing John's probably thinking the same way. We were always thinking, wouldn't it be cool if they did another Star Wars film with the original cast? Mark Hamill.
You just hit in your roundabout way of saying it, TJ. They didn't pay attention to what the fans wanted.
I just wanted to see Luke Skywalker fuck some shit up with the
lightsaber.
I wanted to see him crush an AT-AT with the Force, and just like he's the strongest Jedi of all time. And what we see is some titty sucking old man, and not titty sucking in my way, titty sucking in like a MGTOW way, where he's like sucking on the titty of the fucking sea cow, and like milk, and then like he's crying, and he's like a MGTOW, like goes on the island and he cries about all his problems instead of being a real man and handling them. And that's what we got. And like that's not what Luke Skywalker is. Like if you read the novels, if you know what happened after, like the Yuzan Vong, you hear about, I mean, like Luke literally did face down an AT-AT and fought them and destroyed them. Like not like just man to AT-AT. And he wasn't in a fucking spaceship or anything. That's what you needed to do. It was so easy mode to make this, but instead they put, because I tried to watch The Last Jedi again. I like ripped that vape pen I was smoking. I was like, maybe if I get high as a motherfucker, this vape pen will help make sense out of the fucking Last Jedi. I did it when I was in America a couple weeks ago, and you know what? it still fucking sucked. It sucked even worse. It was a waste of weed. So like I couldn't even, I don't even know. I think the 6 of us could get together and put together a better episode of The Last Jedi
That's
than
what
that
I've been
fucking
saying.
fucking abortion that they put out. And it's just like, at this point, I can understand why like people like Rush Villa or like have gone completely lost their mind and like, you know, are on these Jesus sabbatical things now. I can understand why it may appear that there's like some Illuminati or something that is just like trying to push a message because they don't need money. They don't need any of these extra things. All they need is just a platform to send out their brainwashing because, I mean, financially speaking, who the fuck read the fucking script for The Last Jedi and said this? Did Bob Iger review that and say like, oh, this is okay? Because he's the CEO of Disney. Did he have to okay that?
Dude, you know he's a Satan worshiping.
Nobody read that piece of shit.
He read it and he said
the caribou got in
Hail
the way of
Satan,
his strike
right?
line.
Like it's Hail Hydra.
Caribou.
Disney is Hydra. Disney is Hydra, right? And so they just go Hail Hydra, right? You know, I mean, that's the problem is that's how it gets really so black pill and depressing is that you realize that all these organizations and all these companies and all these franchises have been taken over by basically Hydra.
But
it's Winter Soldier. Whoever wrote Winter Soldier was just looking at our current political system. But
Winter Soldier is a great fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the thing is with the whole Star Wars thing is you were right. They could have just taken what other people had done for 20 freaking years with the Star Wars novels and said, you know what? They did a good job. It was a completely organic. There was Timothy, what's his name, who wrote the first novels, and they built up on it and everything, and they built a world off of what George Lucas had done.
Mm-hmm.
All they had to do was just do that, and they chose not to. It's something that was tried and true. It followed all the story arcs. It was appropriate. You know, Luke goes over the dark side and then comes back over from the dark side. That could have been a great trilogy. They just chose not to do it because they're retarded. Or they're evil. They're Satanists. Like they're demon worshippers. Like there's no other explanation.
But
is anybody as hopeless as me? How many times have you guys like typed into Google, "Is Luke Skywalker alive?" Am I the only one that does that? Like, I literally do that on a monthly basis.
What is cool about the whole Star Wars community? You've got great channels out there like Star Wars Theory, and they all banded together and make their own movies. They had a whole Darth Vader. They're making a whole Darth Vader series about what happened after Revenge of the Sith and things like that. That's pretty fucking awesome, and it looks great. The guys called Star Wars Theory, and they all crowdfunded it themselves.
And that's why I'm saying we should focus on like why are you going to go with mainstream is basic bitch
because they own the intellectual property.
Okay, but Jack, explain this to me. How can they do that then? I mean, is it just through their own?
Let me check. I don't know how he
wait
did
until
it,
the evil mouse comes and says, "Haha, I'm going to destroy you." Haha.
No, they crowdfunded
but if,
it.
If not okay, but and keep going, Jack. But okay, fine. What I'm trying to get you guys to understand is that's gone. Like I love listening to world class bullshitters because of the geekery and it, but and they do keep Disney honest. They are like that one pain in the ass that they just desperately wish to get rid of. But the future, I think, is coming up with new stuff. Like I have, after I'm done writing these damn books, I'm going to crowdfund because I can't think of any other way to do it. But I got some great ideas that are fiction and really have nothing to do with politics. Just some really good new original ideas and stuff. And hopefully we can get enough funding that it doesn't turn out to be the abortion that the Ayn Rand, what was the movie trilogy they made that
Atlas
was just
Shrugged.
Atlas Shrugged. I mean, it will not be a botched abortion attempt
I'm
like
sorry,
that.
God bless her, but Ayn Rand could not write. She wrote one good novel, We the Living. All the rest of her novels were not good novels. Don't read that. I don't think they were well done. But the difference is, because I write stuff and I started out writing fiction because I didn't like what I was seeing, but writing a novel, as hard as it is, because it's not easy, and I spent years trying to work on it, is that it's cheaper and it doesn't require as much resources as making a movie. Like you're talking about Star Wars, that requires a lot. And then after you're done making the movie, you got to get the distribution done. And the moment you start doing any of that stuff and it has any intellectual property stuff, the evil mouse can come in and say, we're going to use our multi-billion-dollar empire to just squash any effort to challenge us if it has anything to do with Star Wars. So you have to literally create your own universe that has the same archetypes and has the same type of people that people love.
You're missing my point. How about we just go for a hike? How about we just tune into podcasts? How about you read a book? How about you watch old stuff? The main media I've been consuming, aside from on the internet, has been reruns of Mission Impossible and the Andy Griffith Show.
How about you vote with your attention and vote with your wallet?
Right. You go your own way in a certain sense, and you just leave. And you stop hemming and hawing. You know, a criticism I think everybody here has of the MGTOW community is it's men who never went. It's like, I thought you went. Why are you still here? You know, you said you're going to take your toys and go home. We'll go home already. And this is kind of the same thing that we're doing here with Star Wars and ruining and lamenting. Oh my God, Kathleen Kennedy did this. Kathleen Kennedy is a Kawanta, haha. Duly noted. Now, who cares? I mean, are any of you going to ever see a Star Wars movie again?
No.
How many of you even go to Rambo? Is the first movie in a long ass time that even piqued my interest. You found something, Jack?
And it's not even that good, to be very honest. The new Rambo.
Oh, okay.
Well, and that's the point, is that they're but like I was saying, imagine Cappy, they brought out Cowboy Bebop and they just completely trashed it. They infected it with feminist stuff.
The old one still exists.
The what?
The old one. The old one still exists of Cowboy Bebop.
Right,
and I
but
get
that's
what
why
Cappy
I
is saying.
think nostalgia. But I think that also explains why nostalgia.
DJ. Yes, Jack. Let Jack say something now. All right.
Jack, sit down, youngster.
What did I walk into?
Because everyone whispering.
Jack, you were saying?
Well, I get what Cappy is saying. He's absolutely right with the whole, we can't save this anymore. By the way, I've looked it up. The guy doesn't mention how he did it. He just mentioned that all these characters are owned by Lucas and Disney and blah, blah, blah. But he has the whole staff, everything in the description. So I don't know why, but he got permission to do it as a fan project. But we can either, we can do two things. Free, actually. We can sulk here. And yes, it is a pity. It is. I loved the Star Wars movies. I grew up on them. I saw The Last Jedi and I was like, God damn it, why? All the good things are being ruined. I can't put on one thing, not even anime, certain animes. I can't even put them on and be like, oh, well, women are great. Yay, we've got this again. So one, we sulk. Two, we make our own versions or new versions because the hero's journey has been done 1,000 times. There are intelligent men on this board. We can make up something new. We can make it happen. Of course we can. Or free, we just stick with the old and go hiking, bowling, shooting, golfing, swimming, wall climbing, you name it. Do those things. So there's multiple options there. Play Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic. I haven't played Magic.
Yeah,
Magic,
I think
Magic nice.
Let's go back 100 years ago. I mean, why are we addicted to watching a screen? Why are we addicted to going to a movie theater? Why does it have to be that? I mean, TJ, of all the people and the number of miles and feet you've elevated and descended, I mean, you of all people would know there's tons of other stuff to do. Absolutely. And I don't think we do anything good for our heart or our mentality. Yes, absolutely. You don't just walk away and leave. And yeah, when there's something stupid, maybe you point it out. But, you know, I think we have the ability to do what they did in the past. Speaking of masculinity, if we want to come up with completely new stories, we could come up with the epic saga of Rurb. And he'd be the cigar smoking guy in the mountains of the United States, and he'd have a tragic past. And he came up and he fought against and the women's came out to stop him, but he had a secret past. Oh, he looked like he was a guardsman, but secretly he was a secret shooting guy and belonged to the secret society of the Mormon elk. But then there was the evil, then the rivals. This goes
What?
back to Hatfield. The rival secret society was the Cascadian Caribou, and they had a special guy, and he was younger, but not as experienced, but he could climb mountains, and he was misguided because he went to the Church of Free Internet. And don't tell me you couldn't. You're in. I think what 1, 2. We got 3 authors here. Anybody else an author?
So,
Not me.
well,
Just a writer, not an author.
you know what? I think the sad thing
Well,
is
there's 4 authors.
I do want to respond to something. One, you guys in a sense are right that we can walk away from all this stuff and not care, and that's the same thing I've done with James Bond. Right? They're going to be doing stuff with James Bond. The thing is, though, I don't think it has much longer to live, so it's going to die out. The problem is that what it does is it makes it difficult for you to enjoy that stuff with other people because people
fucking cringe.
Well, the thing is, when you say Star Wars in a couple of years, is anybody going to be thinking of The Empire Strikes Back, or are they going to be thinking of The Force Awakens? Are they going to be thinking of Han Solo, or are they going to be thinking of Rey?
It's the
And
one
it's the
that's
same.
fresh in their minds. Yeah.
So this is the important thing about why they're doing this stuff. It's to make people forget what was done how many years ago. And so it also makes it difficult for us to say we're Star Wars fans or we're whatever fans, because when they come out and the latest thing of that franchise is just a complete something that just should be burned, cleansing fire, wrath of God, fire and brimstone on it. But now you're in a weird spot where you have to clarify what you mean by I like Star Wars. I like Star Wars as in the original 3 movies, but I hate the prequels. And now you got to go find out who is actually like Star Wars, the actual Star Wars. It's kind of like somebody saying I'm an American, and their concept of America, or their what they think about is completely different from what you think about. And so it just leave stuff alone. And as far as destroying stuff, but when they dig up franchises and destroy them, but people still go and see them, like The Last Jedi. It made how much money? And I know the Han Solo film didn't do well, and Rogue One did okay, but my fear with that
Han
is
Solo did not do okay because of the fan boycott.
Right. They're deconstructing these things so that when you say you're a Star Wars fan, by the time they've killed the franchise, right, you will, as a original purist Star Wars fan, will have to struggle to actually figure out who is a genuine Star Wars fan. Because the 12-year-old girl who says, I love Rey, I'm a Star Wars fan, is not the same as a guy who says, I loved Empire Strikes Back, I'm a Star Wars fan.
But let me ask you this. Why do you have this? Why do you attach a value to a title like Star Wars fan? For example, you guys know the fun time I had trying to play Dungeons and Dragons with younger people. I mean, it pissed me off because I like the game, but I've never thought, oh, now I've rued the loss of me being able to say I like Dungeons and Dragons. I still say I like playing Dungeons and Dragons. I am a geek. I'm just a real geek, not a neo postmodern Spurg autocon retard geek. And I think people delineate, like you could say, no, I'm a real Star Wars fan, not the retard shit they have going on today. No, I'm a Gen X Dungeons and Dragons and are not the
now you have to qualify,
type of that.
Well, no, but now you have
it became because like Cappy, because it was like I'm Generation X too, so like actually I'm the tail end of millennial, but but
Careful
what you're saying is 100% true, because back in our day it was not cool to be a geek. Now it's mainstream media to be this mainstream geek. You know what I mean?
No,
what I think, TJ, your main complaint is that like you want to say I was there before it went pop, but who gives a shit? In 40 years, no one's going to care about Aerosmith. No one's going to care about Bing Crosby.
It's about identity, and it makes it infinitely more difficult. And it's not just Star Wars, it's just everything. You now have to qualify instead of just immediately establishing commonality with someone on a particular subject. For example, if someone says, I'm a Star Wars geek or a Star Wars fan, 10 years ago, that meant only one thing.
I understand
now,
what you're saying.
As the result of these films, you now have to qualify that you're a Star Wars fan, but you are only a fan of the original 3 films. You're not a fan of the prequels, and you're not a fan of, because nobody liked the prequels.
Because it's an inconvenience, is what you're saying.
It's not an inconvenience. It creates confusion because the identity is now confused. It's confused now. And it's been muddled because they took the franchise and they turned it into something that it's not. They made Star Wars. The current Star Wars films are not Star Wars. They just have the title over it and they have whatever, but the heart, the soul, the spirit of the original film.
Oh, we lost them.
Films, and you're a fan of that.
Yeah,
you are not going to like the new films.
And George Lucas fucking hates everything they've done because George, poor Georgie.
He shouldn't have sold his soul.
Well, he just sold it because they made him a pretty lucrative offer, and then they lied to him on the front end. They're like, "Yeah, we're gonna keep everything the same. We're gonna do all this. We're gonna do this and that," and they have taken this man's legacy and they have shat all over it. The good news for him, honestly, he's the richest celebrity in America is George Lucas. He's richer than Oprah. So at least that financially speaking, George made out literally, like I said, being the richest celebrity in America after the Disney deal. He made out well, but dude, after you're making $2-3 million a year, you could stack as many millions on top of it. Quality of life really doesn't change. It becomes about legacy at that point. And
his legacy has been destroyed.
Yeah, it really has been. And the fans are upset with him too. And it was just an overall abortion. I did a whole fucking hour long.
Yeah, I need to watch the whole thing because I watched part of it and I got so depressed because everything you said was true. But
you could see peak MLD anger there.
You'll know what I mean when they take Spike from Cowboy Bebop and turn him into a beta
transgender.
Male. Well, yeah, but
transgender black woman,
and then some 16-year-old girl says, "Oh, I love Cowboy Bebop. I think Spike is a great role model for transgendered women, or something like that." And you're like, "I want to beat you're 16 years old, but I want to beat you." And no, I'm the Cowboy Bebop fan. You weren't even a glimmer in your daddy's eye when that thing came out.
Is there not a kingdom waiting for you? Provided to you by your Father in heaven, is there not? Is that what you believe, TJ? Yes or no? I just want to
get a legitimate point.
Just want to know. TJ, I need you to be brief. And one syllable is the briefest you can be. Do you believe in the afterlife and you're going to a place promised to you by a guy in the sky?
He's already stealing his internet, so
pretty much.
Yes? Yes?
You're going to hell.
Then what does it matter? Who cares? It's regretful.
Cappy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Jack, you were going to say something. I wanted his opinion on this.
Cappy, you're going into stoicism, aren't you? Because even if they remake Cowboy Bebop, you know what? Even if they remake Lord of the Rings, and I'm going to say something that will get this entire panel enraging towards me. I think the Lord of the Rings are better movies than the original Star Wars. There, I said it.
No,
whoa! I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I agree.
What was that again? The original. Say that again, so I can get upset.
Lord of the Rings is better than the original Star Wars.
DJ, let Jack say it.
I think Lord of the Rings, like the Fellowship of Ring, Two Towers, Return of the King, are better movies than the original Star Wars trilogy.
Agreed.
But, yes, in regards to the cinematography, due to the disparity in the technology at the time. But
Not
I mean,
necessarily that. I mean, story wise, everything. I just love the
Return of the
characters
Jedi.
more.
all right,
things
kick
like
him
that.
off. Kick him off.
Return of
thought
the
we were
Jedi.
friends.
Return
You're
of the
putting
There's only
time
one
out.
return, and it's Return of the
I wanna get to the
Jedi.
point. I want to get to the point.
Return of the Jedi caused a lot of problems. One,
Yeah, no, but I
they
want to
had a
get to the
guy.
point.
Hold on,
They had a
hold
guy
on.
make out with a girl who later turns out to be his
TJ, hang on a
sister.
second. Jack wants to. Hang on. He's
Go
gonna.
ahead.
He's gonna
Even
sum up.
if
He's
they-
gonna sum up.
Even if they're gonna remake it, which they will eventually, and some 16-year-old girl tells me I'm a Lord of the Rings fan, and I'm like, yeah, I loved when Aragorn told Eowyn not to ride and things like that. Oh, but I like the version where she told him to fuck off. I'll be like, well, you're entitled to your opinion. I just gonna watch my movies, and I'm not gonna talk to you anymore. And in the end of the day, I will have serenity, because you know what? She or I am not. I do not owe her my reasons for liking my particular taste.
Exactly.
She isn't owed anything from me. Nothing. And the only thing I would do by debating her is wasting my time. What does a 16-year-old have to say to me, especially a 16-year-old girl? What do 16-year-olds know? Nothing.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Enjoy your transgender cowboy bebop from whatever hell transgenderism you came from. I don't mind. And I'm not going to argue with you about why my version is better. I'm just going to watch it with you guys. And after that, going to hear how I was wrong for not liking the original Star Wars trilogy. I'd rather have
Which you
that
are.
debate
Which you are.
and get a heart attack than trying to convince somebody who will have no value in my life.
So now the what I'm thinking of is, why is the guys having the whole MGTOW debate thing? Because if MGTOW had remained what it was when Rob Fetters wrote his book and talked about it years ago, they wouldn't be having this debate. The reason they're having this debate is because people came in and completely converged and mutilated what it meant to be a MGTOW. MGTOW used to mean you're a man who's essentially going your own way, and you're out doing whatever it is, right? Well, it's now become you are endlessly whining about why you're not going anywhere in life, right? So
Right.
I read his book and I said, okay, I'm a MGTOW. And then I started looking at what MGTOWs had become, and I go, okay, I'm not a MGTOW. Like, I don't care what Rob Fetters said at this point, his book. If you say to the average person, I'm a MGTOW, they're going to think of those people, and you, not Vince, but just people over there, and you don't want to associate with them. And it's the same thing as that when the common concept, the average person, is that to identify as this means you're this, it's confusing. It just creates total confusion over what it is that you believe, what you think about, and all this other stuff.
Well, they can be confused for all I care. I know at the end of the day what I'm worth.
Right. If you're trying to articulate to somebody whose opinion you do care about on something or on a topic, it's just it creates confusion. I just see, and it's not just one thing. I see this as more of
The audience is saying, keep it brief, TJ.
Or at least Atham is.
Particularly Athens.
Yeah. The prosecution rests his case, Your Honor.
We're gonna get that made into a T-shirt. Oh shit.
I'll be brief.
So yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm like, okay, look here. Let me give you. Well, first of all, Vince, I know you're a real Star Wars fan because you watched my video that was an hour long, and
It was hysterical as well.
And the video production really wasn't as well thought out as whatever. But I was like, I just need to get this.
You
my
could tell,
fucking chest.
you didn't care what was behind you, the noise. You were just like, I have to say what I have to say.
I have to say what I have to say. I put it on my dating channel because if not, I was gonna fucking get an aneurysm or heart attack. That being said, let me tell you how you fix the Star Wars franchise. Okay, let me just give you my theory. Okay,
Here we go.
First and foremost, Luke Skywalker comes back, right? And he's like, guess what? The white male is here to fix all of the fucking problems, okay? I am here to save you from your ignorance, all right? Secondly, Rey needs to go to the dark side and join Kylo, and she needs to succumb to the evil, and Kylo and her need to like be in love or whatever, and then Luke has to solve, like he has to like get, pull out his lightsaber and be like, all right, I gotta fix this shit. Luke goes and confronts them, right? And they have this epic showdown, and he fucking cuts Rey's head off, right? And he kills her in like the most brutal non-Jedi way, right? Just absolutely murders her, and then he vaporizes her body, maybe like jettisons the remains out into space, and then he's like, and he says like something epic, like they, should have stayed in the kitchen or something, right? And then Kylo Ren starts crying, and he's like, "Oh, please have mercy on me." And then he starts to trust him. He's about to have mercy on him. And then he betrays Luke, but then Luke ends up fighting him. And they have an epic showdown. And Luke gets injured, and he almost dies, but he ends up coming back with the help of like R2-D2 and some of his pals, and he's able to kill Kylo Ren, right? Kylo Ren dies. Then Luke Skywalker dies from his wounds. That's the way you send him out on a hero's victory. But most importantly, you got to kill Rey. That's and I tell you what, if we put out that movie, would the mainstream media be enraged? Yes. And that's how you know you're putting out something well.
John, to add to that otherwise very good idea.
Thank you.
Oh, Rob, wait till you hear what I have. You don't kill her.
He's gonna put the
You
ice on the
don't
top.
kill. No, when you kill someone, their suffering ends.
Mm-hmm.
You simply take all of her powers away, and she's left to fend for herself.
Ooh, okay.
Because she's nothing. She's absolutely nothing without her power. Remember those Batman or Superman? Superman would lose his power maybe, or Batman didn't have his belt, or Rob didn't have his phallus to suck on. You saw that. Well, okay, he's not just strong, but he's also intelligent. He's resourceful, and they still saved the day. That would prove. Whereas, like, without your Mary Sue powers, you are truly worthless and nothing as a human. And then you leave, you say, hey, have someone toss her a lightsaber, say, there, I think you know what to do with it, assuming you can even turn it on, but I'll leave that decision to you. And then they walk away.
Yeah.
Wow.
That would be.
I think if you killed her, and if Luke came back and killed her, like she went to the dark side, killed her, you saved the entire franchise. And it's the most politically incorrect, and it's like the worst thing to do. But I swear to God, you'd make the fan base happier than ever.
The most politically incorrect thing with Luke coming back, and instead of a lightsaber, he had a spatula, and he threw that at her. And he's like, "This is your weapon." And then she instantly like, "Oh, finally, a patriarchal man!" And then she starts cooking him dinner. That would be the best version.
So, John, it's funny you talk about a politically incorrect ending saving the franchise, and we've been talking about Rambo. The original version of the first Rambo film, they had Kirk Douglas in it, and at the end of the film, he's playing the colonel, and he shoots John Rambo. He kills him at his request, right? Mm-hmm. And they did a test screening of that, and the audience wanted to lynch the director. Like one of the guys, one of the audience members says, "Whoever made this film deserves to be shot," right? Mm-hmm. And he says to Kirk Douglas, "We're not going to do that." And Sylvester Stallone also said, "We can't kill Rambo. He's got to survive." Kirk Douglas left the film over that, so they brought in this new actor. So they did a new version where Rambo survives, and Kirk Douglas said to Sylvester Stallone, "Your version was politically incorrect. Mine was politically correct, but it would have cost you $100 million to do it my way." So the whole Rambo series was saved because they did the politically incorrect version, which is where Rambo survives at the end. And so that's what's crazy is like, you could probably do that even right now. It's like, it's not beyond the pale. It's just, it'll never happen because these people are idiots. But if you had Luke Skywalker come back from the dead, kill Rey, and take over, people might actually watch that film. And it might actually sell. I think
the pendulum's going to swing. And John has mentioned this, I think, because Hollywood is failing. I mean, each year Hollywood is failing, right? Am I right? So somebody somewhere is going to notice that, and then the pendulum will swim back. Then somebody's going to make a movie where
I don't know,
everybody's
man.
like,
You ever been to You ever been to Southern California? It is pretty gay, literally.
they did some polls recently, and Trump is doing very well in Cancerfornia right now. He might turn it into Chemofornia.
California.
He might turn it into Chemofornia. Who knows? Let's pray to the God.
California.
No, but
God.
seriously, though.
Cappy, what's your views on just California in general?
We're trying to keep his heart rate down.
No, I try to go there as little as possible. Unfortunately, I have a really cool fan base out there. Some of the coolest people I've met, especially in the San Diego area.
Mhm.
I avoid Los Angeles as much as I possibly can. So I kind of come down out of Vegas and shoot down to San Diego. And then San Francisco, I won't go to for the same reason I won't go to Portland. That is not only traffic, but I don't want to get typhus or, the plague.
Leprosy.
Or the virginity disease of Cascadia. The things that don't have, there's no...
God.
And what's great about California is all the cool shit is either in the northern part, the mountains, or the immediate western part before you get into the Nevada basin. So like Yosemite and Kings Canyon. So I don't mind motorcycling or traveling through. Even I'll even go and visit Atham over in Lake Tahoe area. But otherwise I'll fill up in like Las Vegas so I don't give them my fucking gas tax money. I'll bring sandwiches so I don't eat at their fucking restaurants. I mean, and if I can ever find out someone is from California, I will, and they're a lefty. They're not like an escapee or a refugee to a political prisoner who just escaped. But I find out they're a left. I guess I do this with any leftist. I try to extract as much money or give them as much disadvantage as possible. But I find them to just be a despicable, arrogant, vile, evil group of people, and they damn well know what they're doing. So if I was King Cappy, not President Cappy, but King Cappy, there'd be an immediate war. I'd say, gee, that Colorado River got diverted. Oh, shucks. And yeah, it would be a nice little embargo. And
why do you hate Los Angeles? I can go into why
traffic and the politics.
Yeah. What about the people?
Politics,
just like looking at their
leprosy,
stupid organic eating gluten-free faces.
But you get all sorts of people. Los Angeles is what, 12 million now, 13 million if the metro area. I mean, there's
until the plague spreads.
I've met people in Los Angeles who are cool. I've been to Huntington Beach. I stayed at Balboa Island.
Well, yeah,
I know
there's
that's
going to be
south.
one or two cool people in 12 million.
Right. But and then why do I hate them? Well, it depends. Are you an illegal alien? Get the fuck out of my country. Are you a fat trophy wife soccer mom who just votes and takes her husband's money and goes on some nonprofit campaign in Beverly Hills? I hate you more than I hate the illegals. Are you some know-it-all dipshit from UCLA who's never worked a fucking job in your life, and you're going to, with your sociology degree, you're going to go to Pepperdine Law School and moralize and save the evil people for the good people from the evil white male? Eat a bag of dicks. I mean, there's plenty of reasons to hate
bag?
them. A whole bag.
All the dicks.
Jeez.
A whole bag.
More dicks than a general gender studies major.
You can get Robert size or TJ size. I don't know why the TJ size.
Aaron, how
A
would
little bit
you
more
know
edible.
that? Just curious. How would you know that?
Christ.
Well, you kind of
Experience.
sleepwalk a little bit there, TJ. The one time I visited, I'm like, Jesus, what? Oh, he's sleepwalking.
Yeah,
he's just
pretty sure.
he's just peeing in the dryer. He thinks it's the toilet.
Yeah, pretty sure that's not how it
So you're
happens.
telling me what I have
All
to
right.
look forward to.
I subscribe to CanadianBachelorPorn.com and CascadianBachelorPorn.com. Cascadians.
Canadian bachelor.
The
Yeah,
Marabou.
way to confuse Canadian with Cascadian. But
Barely. I mean,
They're kind of
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Same syllables. Guess that's
Yep.
the thing.
Oh,
my
So
favorite
now
was
we
when
know
I'll have to
I have
confuse
a
Aaron
preview
Clary.
of what's to come.
He is not taking his Alzheimer pills.
that is true.
I like the one, TJ, where you had the fake, but they weren't fig leaves; they were grape leaves because you're in the grape capital of the world out there, and all the vineyards and everything.
You mean like these fake leaves?
Yeah. You got a leaf collection going on?
Yeah, it's called celebrating autumn.
Jeez,
Beat me
TJ, how
to
come
it.
you don't find no women? I mean, my God, You can your leaf collection. You can lead into that with the bar. Hey, baby.
I got
You
chicks
like
with
leaves?
Pokemon cards. He can get them with leaves.
Don't presume too much.
I got some nice maple leaves in my collection.
No,
You want
no,
it?
That's a metaphor for the type of women.
Oh my God! You know the difference between
Maple and oak. Maple and oak.
Well, did you see that new? I think they passed a new income tax law in California that like you're just that they. I can't tell
Yeah,
you.
once
the
you
exact-
leave, you still owe the tax.
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Wait,
Like,
for how long?
I think as long as your business is based in California, you have
Really?
to pay.
Wow.
Don't quote me
Shit.
on that, but it's recently. If somebody could pull it up, but there's recently some terrible tax law
That's insane.
regarding
keep it going.
income in
Keep it
California.
going.
Yep.
Yeah,
Keep
there's a
on
lot of
going.
people having an exodus, right? They're going to Idaho and shit. I've heard.
No,
They're
coming
going to
they're
Vegas.
freaking coming up into my state. You need to
Texas,
go
they're going to
back where-
Austin.
They're
they
picking
need to
all
go
the
back where
leaves
they
that
came from.
taking all the good leaves. Those Canadian leaf collectors stealing my
the boy out
leaves.
of it. I love puns.
What they
That's
they
great.
do is they come up here, and then they, after leaving there because of those policies, they go, "Well, why don't we have one up here?"
What do they
I'm
say?
like, what?
What do they say?
They say, "Why don't we have one of those taxes up here?" And I'm
You
thinking,
didn't do it in the right voice, though.
Come on, TJ, get
anybody
with it.
anybody who decides who that paying the government, which via the Federal Reserve literally has infinite funds,
yeah.
that they think that they should just pay more taxes, that person is a certified and bona fide fucking moron. and if I was king, as Cappy said, if I was king,
King
we would
Friday?
have a cleansing. It would be a spiritual cleansing for YouTube
Cleansing
policy
fire.
purposes. But anybody who says we got to pay more taxes is a complete moron. Anybody who trusts the government is a bigger fucking moron.
Mm.
We need a cleansing fire.
We just
Yeah.
need to turn
or-
back
or
into
we
a
need to
territory and force them to leave.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody. I think it's like become mainstream media
The Wild
knowledge
West.
now. Like, California is just like the biggest shithole ever.
What-
I think
what
most
I
people
love
just-
about them-
Tell that to people up in here because they are like, "Oh, why don't we do things like California?" Because California has leprosy, moron.
Leprosy.
California has the freaking
Shit,
plague.
shit in the
Leprosy?
streets.
Yeah, they.
Not to bring it back on me, but did you guys take a look at the cover I did for the next book coming out?
Yes.
Did you see the
Share it.
far bottom right picture?
No.
Share it.
How
Yeah.
can I
Screen share it.
here?
The little
How
there's
do I
at
do
the bottom says share screen on your
Yeah,
screen
sure.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on. Let me pull it up. I'll do an alt tab. Boomer Clary here.
I have not Ralstonian. I do
that's
my
the
best to
small
stay away
corner.
from current news. My life is better. My life is better for it.
Is there any way to like fight back in the government against taxes, or like once they're there, they're there?
It's
Well,
very-
there
it's-
is.
Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet. It should. You have after you use. I think after you click share screen, you have to
My
click
browser
the
is
tab.
blocked.
You have to click the tab and accept the one that you want.
Click the screen icon in your address bar to allow.
There's a screen. Yeah, it's up. It's up in the.
Oh wait, which browser are you using?
Firefox. Is it not going to work?
Well, the Firefarce. Stop using Firefarce.
You
Yeah,
click
what's
share
wrong,
screen,
Captain?
and then
still
you
using
click.
AOL to log into the internet.
Hold on. Let's help him get to
Hey,
the-
for
Hey,
those
hey,
in the
hey,
chat,
hey,
for
John,
teaching the
go ahead.
boomer how to
Okay,
use
listen.
technology.
Listen, what you got to do is you got to scroll to the bottom where it says you click share screen at the bottom of your screen.
Not yet. I can do that again.
Okay, click on
Okay,
that, and then
I've done
what do
that.
you see?
It says screen sharing tips.
Okay, past that.
Okay. And now it says select you. Now the little pop up is coming up in my URL address asking me to allow or not allow.
Okay,
Allow.
allow it.
Allow, but I have options. Oh, Firefox sharing indicator.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Okay,
That's the,
now only share Firefox with it. Jesus Christ! Here's another group of people I want to kill in California. All these fucking nerds in Silicon Valley. Do you want to do this? Are you sure? Maybe you want to click the other way. All right, now
Cappy, are you sure you want to stop using AOL to log into the internet?
There
You
you go.
guys see that?
There you go.
Okay. How about now? Can you see it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
see a
can-
You
Firefox.
see a Firefox emblem,
Icon.
Icons.
an icon. You see that mouse?
Oh, for God's fucking
What are you
sake.
doing over
Cappy,
there? What the hell?
How
What the
about
hell
that?
going over there at Command Central?
Hang on, I got a better idea. Let me just email one of you guys.
No, I got
Yeah.
it. I got it
Oh,
already.
you got
Yeah,
it. All right. Now, fuck. How do we get out of this?
I got this version.
Stop.
There we go.
Oh, there he is.
Removed your
Hold
ass
up,
from the
Jack.
stream.
Yeah,
All right, hang on. I have to add it. Hang on. There you go.
All right. So
Yeah.
zoom in on the screen or the
Okay,
image.
let
On the
me
bottom
check.
right one.
The
bottom
bottom
right
right
image.
Boomer Jack here. How the hell do I zoom in?
should hit like Alt and then crap.
Scroll
there's
up.
there's a fucking keyboard.
Isn't
I
there an
don't remember.
option, a top right option? There's like 3 little dots.
Oh,
Maybe you can.
it's the poop state, isn't it?
It's the poop map of San Francisco. Yeah.
The poop. There's that's right. They actually made an app for people to send in. They like a
Yeah, and that's a
GPS coordinate
screenshot
location
from
of
that app.
shit.
Yeah.
How
okay,
far is this culture degenerated? When you have a fucking app to locate and organize crap in the streets.
When you
Okay,
need cleansing fire.
Here, I got it. I fucking got it.
Let me zoom in.
You guys
fire
are all
and
incompetent.
brimstone.
You
wrath of
God. You
There you go.
incompetent boobs.
There you go.
We're sorry.
See that?
Hang on a second. I have
No.
to add it. There you go.
There.
That's the cloud of shit. That's the shit. So it properly next to the dog patch.
Oh
but
my
if you-
God. That's the close concentration of shit.
Yeah, this is the
Wow.
cloud of shit.
That must be where the capital is.
Pretty much.
Does
Golden Gate
anyone
Bridge
know?
is here. This is the Golden Gate Bridge here. It's next
Yeah.
to San Francisco Zoo down here.
Snap crap.
Does anyone know San Francisco well enough to know if that's like the nice area or the effete area or something? I'm
It's
hoping
not
there's
nice
like
anymore.
university. Yeah.
It represents shit, Nick.
Yeah, but like, it isn't shit in the air, right? It's like,
Well, yeah, I mean, shit also goes up in the air. The
my
particles definitely
God.
do. Like, you ever watch like a heat map? What happens when you
Yeah.
flush the toilet and you don't put the seat down?
Yeah. Your toothbrush gets all fucked up.
Yeah, all the shit air literally goes in the air. So, I mean, hey, serves him right, dude. I fucking hate California. I mean, I hate those Southern Californian hippies. I hope the
Hippies.
lightning bolt shock. I hope there's a earthquake. I
So-
hope
so-
something.
That's another example of what I'm talking about. Back during the Beach Boy days of the 60s, California girls were these beautiful, skinny, blonde-haired babes. Now, look what happened.
Yep.
There is
Yeah,
not to,
Nobody. Oh,
go on. I'm sorry, TJ. I just have an economic solution that might actually work with California.
like-
but continue
Is it
on.
brief?
Okay, so
It's brief.
the Beach Boys song, I wish they all could be California girls. Is anybody going to be singing that, making a song like that today? Of course not, because it's all been corrupted. So,
Katy Perry did a song.
I'll say what?
Katy Perry did a song called
Yeah, well,
California
Katy
Girl.
Perry can go drive a car off a cliff if she wants.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Wow.
Great. You know, she does like so many enemas to stay looking
Yeah, 'cause
young. I think she does like 3 or 4 enemas a day.
Enemy.
I'm serious. I'm not even joking.
I
like,
believe it.
feminism got
She
to her.
can she can go kiss a girl and like it.
That was the
Uh,
last popped song TJ ever heard.
Oh, shit.
Gosh. No, I'm just saying that the Beach Boys song. Nobody's gonna. It's ruined the meaning of that song because back in the day, guys were like, "Yeah, California girls, these really laid back, cool, chill, blonde, skinny, beautiful girls." Now they think of them like, where have they gone?
To objectification heaven.
Yes.
Does that? May I recommend my economic plan for California though?
I'm sure it'll add far
Absolutely.
much value to the
Well,
conversation.
Does it involve
just
nuclear
think
weapons?
about it, you got to think a little bit more, not politically, and more almost like a military individual. But California is highly dependent on importing water. I mean, that's its number one import. And its exports. Most of it is consumed. Most of the water is consumed by. It has a huge agricultural industry in the Fresno Valley, but it has very few trees. Now, if we go in there and steal all the leaves, and I know just the man who can do it, we can kill all their trees by stealing the leaves. And then there will be less vegetation, less fertilizer on the ground, and we can just starve them out. So we call it leaf warfare. And so, and I'm not going to say who, but when I'm president, I'll set up a department of leaves, and I'll nominate a czar.
Leave TJ alone.
What? I'm not saying it's TJ.
I see what you did there.
Oh man, TJ, you are quite the fucking dork to have leaves on your desk. The only leaves you need to have on your desk are marijuana leaves, and that's it.
This is not my desk. This is my dinner table.
Oh, it's even worse. That's even worse.
Yeah, well,
Oh god.
you know what? Yeah, you live in my area.
Oh, I love you guys.
You all wish you could live in my area. You're all
Hey,
jealous.
you know who
Leaves are for collecting, not eating.
TJ's favorite Batman character is?
Poison ivy.
Poison Ivy. Yeah, there you go. Good one, guys.
I love puns.
Aye.
Oh my god.
You know what his favorite?
You're the
You know what his
most
favorite black?
character.
Hey, hang on. You guys know what his favorite black and white sitcom was?
What?
Leaf It to Beaver.
Leave it to Beaver.
Oh my god. Well, TJ, you're the most loved character on this panel. We've been shooting the shit at you all evening. I haven't heard Vince being insulted or myself once.
It's very hard to insult Vince. Vince is the
Well,
kind
that's
of guy
because
you
Rob
dislike
has no
him.
shame.
Vince doesn't even participate in his own podcast. That's why we can't jump on it.
And here's the deal. I already know what I think. That doesn't matter. I want to know what you guys think. This is not about me.
It's very
Well,
smart way
we're
to put it.
making it about you.
I'll do
Vince.
my Vince
you can't-
We're
impersonation.
making it about you.
You can. You go, have at it.
Well, you gotta say
how-
your piece, and then we'll go at it.
You dirty
Let me ask you this
fuckers.
then, Cappy, because it's the first time I have a little chat. I've heard so much about you through just the
You should.
sphere
Yeah,
and stuff.
that's right.
But that being, I've actually watched a couple of your videos you filmed with that potato, and it's great stuff. Let me ask you this: how bad do you
Just to
think
show you before you go on, John, I got it used at Best Buy. However long that stamp was ago.
Oh my
So,
god! And
definitely
that was
a
from
rumor if
like
you're
the
shopping at
bargain
Best
bin.
Buy.
That was from the bargain bin, wasn't it?
Cappy
Corn.
is the guy who's like, yeah, do you take expired coupons? Can I speak to the manager?
I'm sorry, John. Go ahead.
How badly do you think the Democrats are going to lose?
Sadly, I don't pay attention to politics anymore.
Oh, okay. I
so
just
I
feel like
really-
common
I
sense
really-
says-
Sad. That's not sad. No.
Yeah, and I'm recommend, which is in part the kind of conversation or point I was trying to make with TJ is one of letting go or stoicism and all that. But it was just getting to me because I was good, and I was originally an economist, and I was damn good. Like I predicted shit left and right, and what kind of broke my back was when I predicted the housing bubble. Damn got near fired for it and rammed heads with everybody, and then realized that no one gave a shit. They just wanted to keep being lied to. And so you'll see kind of a migration in my blog, which goes back all the way to 2004, which has data and charts and analysis, very empirical, to one of philosophy, stoicism, misanthropy, hatred, and fuck all the world must die type of more recent tone. So I haven't really paid attention because it's not worth getting the blood pressure up. It just isn't.
Amen. Brother.
I don't get riled up at all. I like watching the incompetents lose
shit
their
show?
mind because if for me the only way Trump is going to lose is if there's some heavy real election meddling. But I think
Which
Trump is
may-
so
there may
deep in this.
be.
Like, I mean, listen, the man brought. Listen, I live in Japan, right? And when fucking North Korea was launching those goddamn missiles, my phone would go off in the middle of the night or early in the morning, like, hey, you might die. If there's a,
Oh, wow.
there's a nuclear missile being shot over. Sit under your table. Make sure to put your head like this.
Sit between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye.
You want to be in a
Exactly.
position, right?
And so for me, the whole thing about Trump actually bringing peace between North and South Korea, more progress than any president has done in the history of mankind.
That is true.
I think that alone is going to sit in the normie mind. And then who are they going to choose? Like Joe Biden, the pedophile, Tulsi Gabbard. Like who do they have?
Well, see,
fucking Beto, the trust fund guy who says we're coming for your AR-15s. This is the dumbest thing you could ever fucking say. Is that we're going to come for your guns?
Well, and the thing is, Cappy, that this is why I stay on top of politics, not because I want to, but because if you don't, this is just reality. If you're not staying on top of it for a while, you end up like one of those boomers who's like, "Oh, kids nowadays, you don't go back on dates. You should put on your nice fancy shoes and take it to the dance or whatever." And
only when she's 60.
Shoes, right? Not sneakers.
Yeah, you shoes, not sneakers. It's like, okay, yeah, there's no such thing as that anymore. And the same thing with politics.
I won't become that ignorant. I mean, come on. I'll keep a tab on. I always do the Clary tests on various politicians, so I mean, I will keep a finger on the pulse. But I don't wake up. I know a family. I woke up with kind enough to let me stay with them. Both the mother and the father were on their tablets looking at Drudge Report first thing in the morning. I'm like, what? Are you trying to get pissed off? Like,
no, it's because I just this is just my honest gut feeling because I agree. I think it's just because our society, culture, and political situation is so unstable. You don't know if 5 seconds from now or tomorrow morning we're going to wake up and find out that it's on.
Yeah,
like they're trying to,
I got my gun right over there.
Right, and so we're kind of like at the point late stage USSR where it could end any moment, and I think everybody believes that, even if they don't want to admit it, but they're thinking any moment everything could change because it's that unstable. I think everyone's aware of how unstable things are, and so they're constantly checking their phones or whatever to be like, is this it? Is this when we finally have like the Civil War, revolution, overthrow of the government, the USSR dissolves, like the modern day United States just breaks up?
Yeah, no, I understand. I'm prepared for it. Don't worry.
Right. And so but that's why I stay on top of politics, because just thinking
too many people are fucking pussies for there to be another civil war. Do you understand how easily it will be won by one side?
It's gonna end up being kind of like the Irish Troubles, where you have like loner gunmen go and do a bombing or a shooting, and then every side's like, oh, they're all responsible, all 100 million of them. And the other side's gonna say, no, they're not. And then a small minority is going to say, oh, no, they were heroes. Like, we totally avow them, right?
I think to postpone it, if I'm going to provide any kind of political insight or thought that I might have, to provide some kind of stability, and I think would give Trump a huge win. I mean, if he wanted to lock it down, if he implemented a free leaf for everybody policy, I think that would counter any kind of welfare promises the Democrat Party could offer. And he could offer whatever type of leaves he wanted, maple leaves, oak leaves, pine cones. But I think we leave the pine cones to the states. I think that would be a gubernatorial issue.
White birch.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Fantastic.
Hey, Cappy, maybe a very off question. Very off. But I noticed something lately. That haircut you got. You didn't have that for very long, did you? Because it looks damn good on you.
This one?
Yeah.
You've got that fade going.
Very World War II-ish American soldier-like.
This is a migration cut. What's happening is, and Adam Pigot's going to hate me for this. I don't care how I dress or how I look. I leave that predominantly up to the GF. Because she's the number one consumer of my looks. I really don't care. I mean, as you can tell when I wake up and I do asshole consulting in the morning. Happy. Oh, sorry. By the time the GF gets back home, I'm done up. I've got my workout. And if we go, I want you wearing this. I want you doing that. So I'm like, okay. But we're talking and she was like, I think I want your hair to grow up, because I had hair even longer than yours, Jack.
Really?
And she's like, it's kind of going gray, and it'd be nice if you had your long hair again. So I had a pretty short haircut.
You and Rollo.
Yeah, we pretty much
Shit.
had the exact same haircut.
Yep.
And you just man it down and you go and do your thing. But now I'm growing it out. Now it's kind of in that stage where I'm like, oh fuck, I got to do something with it. And so she has this. It looks like a deodorant stick, but it's not. It's a wax thing you put, and you just whoop, and it's over. And yeah, so it looks better than the mess it was before.
Nice. Yeah, I used to have my hair down to my shoulders about 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, I had it to my elbow about, how old am I now? 29? Yeah, that was about 12 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah, it wasn't nice. It was one hell.
Although it's kind of funny now because I had a little bit of soap and I'm like, oh, that didn't-
Irish Spring?
Hey, you're damn right, Irish Spring. I got the Irish Spring, and there's nothing wrong with Irish Spring, but got to use a little bit more shampoo now.
Insane
because-
Irish. Bloody hell.
Aaron, you shaved your head?
Yeah, a long time ago.
As in completely bald?
There's a
Like
picture of
I
me and
do?
Davis Arini. Yeah, a long time ago.
Jesus.
Oh, shit.
It was by accident. I didn't put the trim because I used to cut my own hair to save money because I'm a cheap
Oh,
bastard.
my God.
And I forgot to put the guard on. And I just and I'm like, I had this landing strip right. I'm like, oh fuck.
You should have left it.
That.
Should have kept that shit, yeah.
And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You paid attention.
Yeah, I do.
But then
Cappy,
yeah.
What do you think about this phenomenon that's slightly growing of these guys that they can't get laid, so they buy a sex doll and they dress it up and they carry the thing around with them and they talk to it and they take it to restaurants and they sit
Wait,
down.
don't know if they take it to restaurants.
John, they take it to restaurants?
Yeah. Yep.
What?
Check out Google Images. These guys.
I don't
go
even want to look at
restaurants.
that shit.
You
now.
you will find me. I'm very libertarian, and different strokes for different folks. But was it you guys? No, it was Redman Group that had Turd Flinging Monkey on one time.
Yeah.
Was he was on? I run ads on his show because he. It's a specific target demographic. He's probably one of the least agreeing, one of the podcasters I agree with the most or disagree with the most. But also, I can't help but tune in because he's a damn good economist, and so listening to his economic rants is really what I like. But then that sex doll thing, man, that's just weird. But
It is.
but it's different. And I'm sick of. I don't need to watch Fox News anymore. I don't need to listen to CNN talk about Russia ever again, ever.
Right.
All
Now I was
right?
talking about Ukraine.
Right. I don't need to hear TJ talk about how briefly he's going to talk about. All right?
No, but you're going to listen to it and you're going to like it. See?
And in
What
the
about
grand
see?
and in the
see,
grand
you're
scheme
gonna like
of
it. See?
life,
Stop being a sissy.
I'd rather listen to something. Just a little bit of it that's different, even if I disagree with it, because it's like I gotta. You almost like a train wreck. Like, okay, you got me curious, and then even then, I kind of like. I had a buddy. I can't go into detail about him, but we were talking about this the turd flinging monkey and the sex doll, and this and that and that and this. I'm like, well, wait a minute.
The fuck
Were
is
you
turd
in like
flinging
this
monkey?
horrific 3-year relationship with this?
What is a turd flinging? Wait, what is a turd flinging monkey?
This is what this MGTOW guy refers to
This
himself
is
as.
a guy who's got a channel. His name's Turd Flinging Monkey. You can do this thing
He's
called the
got-
Google.
And he's got a sex
Oh my
doll.
God, the Google?
The
And
Google.
he has a sex
Google.
doll. He has a sex
Google.
doll that he carries around with him and he takes care of and he loves. And,
Anyway, getting back to the original question, I was talking to my buddy, and I'm like, let me ask you this: in that he had a horrific 3-year relationship, and a lot of you guys probably have had something. It's like, would you have rather had a sex doll instead of that? And he's like, he had to sit and think about it because the amount of psychological damage he took, the amount of psychological damage any guy would take from a bipolar woman or some whatever, schizophrenic, whatever. It's like, yeah, probably would it be weird, it'd be creepy, wouldn't necessarily be 100% healthy either, but it's that bad. Now, I think that's the wrong solution.
I think so
there's
too.
other money, but I can understand where some guys are coming from, but I wouldn't choose that solution.
I mean, have you been seeing these icons of fitness and male health that are tugging these dolls around though?
Yeah, I guess.
I've not seen it, but I don't have to guess. I don't have to guess.
Can I add something to that? Because
Absolutely.
well, John is right. Like the new thumbnail for Rule Zero is savage, but TFM, I believe, is a war vet, and he looks pretty damn good. I think because he's a war vet, he knows his fitness and health. He knows what healthy eating is.
He sounds like a dork, though. He does sound like a fucking dork.
Well, we're a masculine geek. We're all dorks.
No.
Okay.
There's different tiers to dorks. And the tier of dork that has sex with a rubber doll is at the very, very fucking bottom of the rung.
I gotta agree with John on that. And just say,
I do.
There's
my thing either, but what I meant to say was pick on him where we can actually pick him on. Like sex dolls, no way. But he doesn't seem like a fat loser. I think if that guy reads Day Bang by Rouge, he could get laid.
No, but I think that explains another issue is that a lot of these guys, they may not be fat. They may not be fat and living in their mom's basement. That may not be true for all of them. It may just be that a lot of them are just, there's something wrong. And that's where I don't want to crap on a lot of these guys who are going through some stuff. Like, I have no idea. And maybe they don't even want to talk about it. Right?
Someone probably stole their leaf collection. They're very torn. Need some to hold.
No, but it's just like, guys, if you're living in a basement or you're fat and you're not athletic and you're not grooming well, like whatever it is, you screwed up, you're a loser. We get that. There are men out there who genuinely care about your loserdom and are willing to help you out. Do you want their help or do you want to remain a loser? If you want to remain a loser, go over there.
MGTOW. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing.
You're right. If you want to actually try to get out of that hellhole that you're in, there are men who are willing, unlike your dads, unlike your stepdads, unlike your teachers, counselors, your teachers, unlike them, these guys will actually genuinely care, because when they screw up and you don't become successful as a result, it's on them. They don't get to say, well, it was the principal, it was the state, it was your parents. No, they got to actually take responsibility for not teaching you to do what you're supposed to do. And that's all I got to say about the war in Vietnam.
We care, but you have to burn first.
No, you just got to accept the fact. You got to say, I'm a loser who's willing to change, and I'm humble enough to accept that.
What if they don't want to? So here's a
well, the MGTOW is over there.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, okay, and I've talked with Rob about this. A man can put a lot of work into himself, and he can create himself in the most high value version of himself. And as I said to Rob, or asked him, and I think Cappy and John and everybody here will ask the same question: how many women out there are worth that high value man? And be honest, because I don't see a lot of women being worth that.
Not many.
Based on my empirical dating, I put this in bachelor pad economics, is less than 1%.
Right.
Jeez. And that's not just me picking 1%. That's me dating well over 300 girls, and there's only 3 that were like of that quality, and that was 20 years ago.
Well,
so
it's bad now. I mean, all these guys. Okay, TJS leaves. Okay, it's okay, kiddo. But we did the online thing. We go out, things like that. We've got the experiences. With all of our successes, there's maybe 100 or more failures. Like, you don't want to know that even if you're a high value guy, how high the failure rate is, because most of these girls really are stuck up, really will try to fuck you over, and are not worth your time. And I'm not saying go fuck a doll and things like that, but I do understand the whole principle of going your own way or going ghost.
Right.
And that's a great term, because that's what I was going to delineate between back in the olden days before Now, this would make TJ cry and sob because he'd have to, but pre-2007, it was MGTOW. We all know MGTOW's been taken over, and now I got to explain to people, no, I'm a pre-2008 MGTOW. Ghost is probably the best. Yeah, because
don't have a heart attack over there, my man.
MGTOW at one time had a legit, and there were some badass motherfuckers. Some people would have even considered me MGTOW, where it's like, no, I'm done. And I defined it back in the day as the reprioritization of your priorities in life, and women are no longer at the top. It's self-improvement and doing the thing that you want to do. It didn't mean you kicked women out or they weren't there. Going ghost is another thing where, dude, I can't blame Terrence Popp if he never dates a girl in his life ever again. I know these guys that got butchered over in divorce courts.
Right, but he's not a MGTOW today.
My point is, given
he
the
actually
statistics,
talked to a girl.
TJ, take it and zip it. Right? See, this is the problem. Now I got to rethink about what I was going to say here. Now, there are men who've gone through enough bullshit, and there is such a small percentage of quality women out there that mathematically some people are going to have to go MGTOW. It just isn't enough to go around. And the sooner you assess what your true market value is, what you're capable of getting, and what you really want on a life, then you can ask yourself this question, all right, do I want to have my 1 in 20 shot at this? Because if you do and you fail, there's a huge opportunity cost, and that is a wasted life of self-improvement and doing what you wanted to do. Where I have take issue with the MGTOWs and where it was co-opted and has gone a completely different direction is where they've used it as a crutch and an excuse for their cowardice and laziness to not try.
Yes.
Where you have 16 and 17-year-old boys armchair railing on internet forum, fuck these bitches, they're all to do. It's like, dude, you've never asked out a girl in your life. You've not even, why fucking should I? They're just going to shoot me down. It's like, no. You're a fat, lazy fuck who just wants an excuse so you feel better about yourself.
Yes.
So where... and Jack was making this point about turd flinging monkey. He is a vet. He fought in Iraq. You could kind of hear it in his voice. Sandman is the same way. Sandman had a girlfriend. Sandman's been out there. He has a job. I think there are some legitimate guys. I may not agree with the solution turd flinging monkey has chosen. But I can definitely see where, let's call the appropriate term ghost, the legitimate MGTOW. You've gone ghost. I could totally see guys doing that. But the thing is, they will have went. They will have gone ghost. You won't see them. Why? Because they're out doing their shit. And I think Rich
they're
Cooper's
not bitching about it online.
Right.
That's the thing. You don't hear about these guys. They're doing and living their lives.
Right. And I think like Rich Cooper's example of that. He does his cars. He has his kids. He does his stuff. He was practically dragged into he started originally in entrepreneurial venue, but then people sought him out. Same thing with Terrence Popp. I mean, he's paid. If he didn't have his channel, he was working banking and finance before. I think he'd be retired and just chilling out and doing whatever.
Yeah.
And another thing is if Asshole Consulting ever went away, or there was no reason for me to talk about it, I didn't have my podcast.
I don't think that's going to be a problem.
No, I don't think so. I think as long as there's divorce, as long as feminism's here, I'm going to be gainfully employed till I'm dead. But I forgot what I was going to say. Terrence Popp, he could go. I see him legitimately going his own way. But these people go somewhere and they do their thing. Oh, and that's what I was saying. I'm not going to sit here and rally against women and, oh, geez, feminism sucks. And, why can't women be thin? And, no, it's not worth it. It just isn't worth it. I'm going to go hike and whatnot. And maybe come in, check the pulse. Hey, is everything fucked up? Wow. It's even worse than when I left it 2 years ago. See you guys. Bye. And that's, and so that's how my general take on MGTOWs.
Yeah, and I think, to go back to what you're saying about worthy women, I think, 1% is a good number of like a keepable girl. And then to top it all off, we have to really factor this in too, that in America, especially, I'm a global traveler. I fucking travel all over the world. I've done so many vacations this year, and I'll be doing a couple more. because I just like seeing the cultures, and as a guy with a psych background, this is very heavily interesting to me. And even on a global perspective, the average man is absolutely shit with women. That's and that is even gotten worse in the United States due to A, the turn on masculinity, B, the demonization of the family and the father. It's like everybody just wants a state-led single mother household. And this is how you create an army of complete fucking pussies. And that's why guys like me, I'll be having sex till the day I die. I'll never not have a woman.
Yep.
And just because my competition year by year is just getting weaker, dumber, poorer, fatter, fucking dolls. Okay. Can you imagine if you had a girl on a date and you bring her back to your place and actually your doll accidentally falls out the fucking closet? Like, what do you say? What do you do? Like, on that rare chance that you actually got a girl.
Mine.
It's not
Feel
my
like some
bag,
tower
baby.
bridging.
It's not what it looks like.
It looks like some tower bridging, mate. I've got her right here. She doesn't say no. Let's go.
Threesome.
Yeah. Oh my God. Join the party.
God help us.
Oh God.
They are definitely a bunch of weirdos. I'll have to say that.
Yeah, I mean, being aroused by plastic
Yeah.
to me is strange.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, that's a good point, actually. See, my mind doesn't even gone that deep down the rabbit hole because I even some girls look at them like, oh, like I couldn't get erect for you, bitch. You're nasty. And then looking at this piece of plastic and be like, oh, I'm gonna fuck the latex out of you, baby. Like,
well, I mean, that's just how when guys talk about this stuff, I just know, and I'm not being mocking, right? I think that there's some. Well, no, if you're a guy like no, if like from what you said, I can't remember who it was, but you were saying how one of those guys had been a veteran or combat guy. Like, I know guys who fought and the stuff they've seen, and it completely ruins your mind. It just does. So when they're saying things that don't make sense, but they've seen guys, their buddies, be completely incinerated by an IED. I get why their mind doesn't work, right? When a 19-year-old kid who hasn't moved out of his mom's basement is talking about the same thing, I'm like, no, you're done. Yeah, you're done. Like, you need to get your ass kicked. You need to go grow up, right? If it's some combat veteran who's like screwed up in the head, it's like, I'm not like, I don't agree with him, but I'm not going to kick a guy while he's down, right? I know veterans who've got PTSD who their minds are screwed up and they say screwed up things, but you don't knock them down while they're down, right? When they mistake somebody whistling for a shell or something bomb that's going to go off and they hit the deck or whatever or something like that.
I don't think that leads you to go fuck a doll. I think those are two different angles.
Well,
like those guys who are fucking dolls, they're not even combat ready, nor do they don't have the balls to a fucking approach a woman. How the fuck are they gonna have the balls to get on the front line of combat and fucking dodge bullets?
I'm not defending. I'm not. Trust me, I'm the last guy on this whole podcast to be defending that kind of stuff. I'm just saying that that I agree with you. I just don't see how that kind of stuff is even conceivable for these guys. I just don't. You're either for if nothing else, it's like you're not dealing with a human being, right?
Well, and that's one thing I just it's a fascinating. I don't agree with it, but it's a fascinating insight in the human mind. Turd flinging monkey. It's not like, oh, this is a sex toy. He actually has a relationship with this. Like, it's Wilson.
Right. It's a Wilson.
It's a Wilson.
Yeah,
I'm
an
like,
electronic voice for her as well, right?
Yeah, and that's where it's kind of like, and we can pick on turd flinging monkey all we want, but I'm wondering, is this going to be the future? Is this going to, not for everybody, but is this going to be growing? There was a commercial. It was I believe a Japanese commercial, and it starts out with this young professional looking Japanese man, and he's getting dressed up, and there's a female voice that just talks to him, and it's a little hologram of a cute girl.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand the language, but he turns it off, and then he goes to work and then he gets a call, and it's on his phone, and it's that image of that girl, and she's saying, and I think even the translator, like, "Hi, how are you doing at work? It's good to see you. Can't wait for you to come home." And so then he goes back home, and she says, "It is so nice to have you back." And da da da. In other words, it was this surrogate kind of holographic girlfriend.
Right.
Where are we really going to get? Okay, we are forced to get female beauty now on the internet because, for the most part, the wild hogs that you can now shoot legally without a license down in Texas are more fuckable than your average woman in Seattle and Portland. So now you go to porn and you look at hot chicks on the internet. But now, are we going to create artificial intelligence, or just someone that, like, is it going to be a teddy bear? Or they got the, like I was telling TJ, I confessed about the gift I was going to get him. I want to get him a waifu pillow with Ingrid Bergman on it. And I just couldn't find a big enough image that would fit the waifu pillow. And so now it's going to happen. But that's a joke. TJ wouldn't actually cuddle up to it. He's too busy obsessing about his leaf collection. But there are men that actually have this kind of relationship with a pillow because their favorite anime character is on it. And it's not, is it beyond statistically rare? Is it this didn't happen 40, 50 years ago, because I don't think they had waifus back then, but now we do. And so it's a very interesting world to look into, where more and more men are just going to completely outsource it to a fantasy world, which I guess in some way or others has happened in the past, but not to this level.
I'm going to reference a Batman animated series episode, first season, where the Mad Hatter has used mind control to get Alice, this girl he's got this obsession over, to be his girlfriend. And Batman points out that all he's created is a mindless puppet, a soulless doll. And he realizes that. And I think that most men will not be interested in that, because what they want is genuine desire. And it's the same desire that men in a lot of marriages have never felt, is genuine desire. They thought they were getting that by getting married, but they're not. And they didn't realize that until they said, "I do." And then they realized, oh, you can't get out of that. So people are going to realize the difference is, with a doll, you can just get rid of it when you don't want it. Unlike, unlike a wife, you can't just get rid of it when you realize when
it's you.
Right. But the thing is, like, people want, I mean, like, if you want to break it down, people want to be genuinely loved for who they are or what they are, not because someone is just blindly loving them. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But, and so that a doll is like, nothing you do earns their affection. So how can you say that they like you?
I think what I'm thinking is a percentage of the population, either through desperation or the fear of the amount of work to actually get a real woman to like them, because that takes effort. You got to work out and all that. That fear of the labor that would be required to earn the actual love and care and liking of a woman is stronger than what they believe they're going to get out of it. So that's one reason they would go with, be it a sex doll, a hologram, a waifu pillow, or whatever. Another group of people, a waifu, okay, whatever. The Ingrid Bergman pillow.
Boomer.
The other group, and this is maybe where Turd Flinging Monkey would come in, are men who did have relationships in the past. They've done some very clinical, cynical number crunching. They look at it and they do an economic calculation. They say, this isn't worth it. I'm not good. And most you'd think would then just become confirmed bachelors, maybe join a monastery. But there's a percentage that are going to go with a surrogate, non-sentient, quote unquote, relationship with a girlfriend.
Quick question.
That's like a low level form of psychosis.
Yeah.
John, hold on. Has anybody seen the movie Her with
Yes.
Joaquin Phoenix?
Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett
So-
Johansson is the
Yeah,
voice. Yes.
that's the one. Like the guy falls in love with his artificial intelligence, and he takes the voice, because that's what it is, with him everywhere. And well, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's sad. It's sad. I mean,
And then even the fucking, just to talk about female disloyalty, he finds out that she's talking to like 500 other guys too. Even these female robots are fucking whores.
like you spoiled him. Like he's such a loser. Even in the end, an artificial intelligence leaves him. Like, oh
Oh,
god.
man.
Then
All
you've
right,
got
guys.
some soul searching, my friend.
Guys, I got to get going and not be a MGTOW. I'm going to watch some Andy Griffith with my girlfriend.
Fantastic.
And,
Careful, she doesn't press rape charges on you.
no, I got one of the 1%. And
Half them, these MGTOWs are such losers that even their dolls friends zone them.
Oh, that's
Well
cool.
done, Ethan. Well done.
Well
God
done,
damn it.
Adam.
All right, Aaron, I'll be in touch with you because you're flying out on Monday.
oh, I am. Is there something
I get-
going on this weekend?
Get a- you son of a bitch. You know exactly what's going on.
Oh, is that the gay meeting you were supposed to talk to, Aaron?
Yeah. Did you guys, have any of you guys tuned into the podcast I did? What was it? Older Brother podcast?
Did you mention
No.
us?
Hang on. What day is it?
Yeah, he
today?
said how we were a bunch of.
Leaf collecting motherfuckers?
No. Okay. Yeah, it was Tuesday. Me and Chad, we did the Older Brother podcast, and he's like, "What do you got going on this upcoming week?" I said, "No, I'm going to speak at this writers convention." Oh, really? What are you speaking about?
What?
Homosexual authors. And then, well, why they haven't you? I'm like, well, they like me and they know I'm libertarian and I don't judge them. And I'm like, who are the authors? Are they
You look good in that Speedo.
any
Oh, my
famous
God.
gay authors? I'm like, yeah, TJ Martinell, Vince, Ron.
That's fucking hysterical. Oh,
By the
my
way,
God.
Cappy, DM me if your millennial narrator cancels.
Will do. I will, but he's good. But gee, you think there's a chance a millennial might cancel and flake out?
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm here for you. I am your friend.
You're next on deck. So if this guy strikes out, you're next on deck.
What's
But
his
There
name?
you go.
Research.
I can't say he. I know his real name, and I can't put it out. He goes by
I know,
anonymous.
I
I don't
know.
know his anonymous one, but he's good. He's done a couple books for me before. Then he had a millennial meltdown, and I don't care if he hears it because he needs to hear that. And
What do
I
you
was
do? You
just-
start crying or something, or what?
no, you know what it was? Here, I'll tell you. I'll tell
His
you.
dog
the-
left the
pillow.
I'll tell you. Then I gotta watch Andy Griffith. Remember when
How often have I
Trump-
heard that?
Remember when Trump fired the missiles into Syria?
Yeah.
He had a meltdown because he was so into Trump and he thought Trump was the Messiah.
Oh
that
God.
he was not. He was no longer a pacifist, and he couldn't take it anymore. And here's this
man.
kid who, at the time, I think was 22. He was making $25 an hour because I wasn't his only client. He was working at home, making $25 an hour with a great voice, with equipment he had at home, and he was a pro. He was great. And I'm like, dude, if I was 22 and could work from home, simply reading shit, I would make sure I'd be so professional. And I just need to take a break. I need to take a break. And I'm like, you live at home.
Ridiculous.
Trump fired some rockets into Syria.
Gives a
What an
shit.
honest fucking name. So hopefully he's manned up and toughened up a bit.
Jack, do not ever do this, please.
Yeah, no
Like,
weeping.
I know, I
no
know, I
weeping in
know,
your
I
wafer
don't have
pillow.
to. I'm just saying, like, this is my generation. There needs to be like a total cleansing, Inquisition style courts. I will be the Grand Inquisitor.
I am one of the few millennials who had actually had to endure real trauma, so I toughened the fuck up when I was 12. So
Good.
Because I want to just completely cleanse my generation. Just with
I want to watch Andy
fire.
Griffith. I'll see you guys.
All right,
See you
I
soon,
need to
Cappy.
get-
Happy.
Hey, reply to your DM. Oh, motherfucker left.
I'll-
In and out, man.
Oh
Talk
my
about
God.
ejaculate and evacuate.
Yeah. And John, your show, your dude party show is going to be Saturday at 2 p.m. Correct?
Yeah, Saturday,
That-
2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dude Party is.
We'll
We
be
just
on.
launched it this last Saturday. Turned
Alright.
out to be like a massive success.
I
Like,
saw that. Yeah.
I didn't think that. I mean, I just think it's good, man. We just like kind of like this. Basically, it's like my own masculine geek to an extent, but like we just talk about stuff, and it's super like
Very laid back.
yeah, really laid back, and like I mean, it's just way more chill than less structured, and I think it's just a good place to let guys come and voice their opinions and call in and join me on stream. So it was an experiment. I think I mean, what did you think? I think you enjoyed it a lot. Yeah,
I did. Yeah, and like I said, we'll be en route to the coast. So what we'll do is you send us the link. We'll all be in the car at the time. So
Hell yeah. All of us in
We'll
one
try to-
car at the same time. Dude, what can go wrong?
I know.
I'll be here
I'll just use my mobile data to leave nasty comments along the way.
There you go.
I'll be here watching, not going on dates again. It turned out to be a flake. Seriously, I could have been a dude party from the beginning, but no, I had to have a date who flaked. Fucking bitch. Took away my fun.
What did you learn there, Jack? What
Go to
did you
dude
learn?
party all the way.
No.
There you go.
You tell her to show up to something that you already want to do, and if she doesn't show up, well, fine. No loss. You just do whatever
Well,
you're gonna do.
I've been changing my strategy lately. I don't know if anybody of you caught that. It was one of my live streams this week. But my Tinder strategy is this these days. I just open with coffee or tea. She responds, we should get that. Response then and there, that time. I don't go out anymore. Here's my address. You show up. They come here. It saves time. It saves money. It saves stress. Done. And otherwise, I've got the bottom plate who will, well, I'll tell you after the show. I'll tell you. Seriously though, once you have a woman who truly, genuinely desires you, by God, you can just grab her hair and she already goes down to her knees. You don't have to do anything. Just grab her hair and she's like, "Ooh."
Good night,
That's
folks.
not, and Jack, that's just the beginning.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know. I know.
Then you get to
I'm
time
looking
up and
forward
whip
to
them.
your book
It's always
too,
fun.
Yeah, like I said, my new bamboo. It's eco-friendly. My new bamboo paddle just arrived in the mail yesterday.
Eco-friendly. Nice.
Oh, by the way, if you want me to do other books before that, just
God help
let me
us.
know.
Well, yeah. Well, there's several of my own, as you know, that I want you to narrate, and they're naughty, so you're going to like it.
Oh yeah. And then in that posh accent.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be good stuff.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Come on, Atham. I just sent you the damn. You're fucking complaining about shit. We're not going to be on too much longer, but you can jump in for a little bit.
Athen is the
Atham,
hot
look
dude
it up.
Mexican, right?
He is, yes.
Yeah, he's the
He's the Mexican Modern Life John.
kinda, yeah. He kinda is.
Minus the well, no, did he? No, he didn't
No,
have.
but he's
sunglasses on.
also got the "Don't Tread on Me" flag, so that adds
That's
to
true.
his awesome points.
Have a good night, Ralstonian. Good to see you in the chat.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah.
stay out of trouble.
See you soon.
No.
Listeners.
Drive fast, take chances.
That's right.
As
As
long as you're
always.
sober, drive fast, take chances.
No,
Oh, there he
drunk
is.
last time.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
Wayoki.
he's got his leather jacket on, but he has no audio. What the fuck?
Can you hear me now?
Hmm.
Yeah, I hear
Now
ya.
we can. Yeah.
There we go.
Awesome.
Hey, a little late, but
That's all right.
Well, we only have room for 6 when it comes to StreamYard.
Yeah, we
anyway.
kicked out the
Yeah.
loser.
We
Well, the boomer left.
we
Says
we
the
kicked out-
fucking leaf collector.
I was gonna say, we-
I
kicked out the leaf hater.
John,
I
quick
saw that.
question.
Yeah.
John, chat. You remember that? But never mind. You played Yu-Gi-Oh, right?
Yes.
Did you ever get chicks to come over to see your deck?
Your
No,
dick,
but I'll tell you something.
dick or your
So,
deck.
so I
Deck.
kept my Yu-Gi-Oh
Under the
my
radar.
Yu-Gi-Oh playing because I would always go to these like little shop tournaments
Mhm.
on the weekends and just pay for the entry costs and then like walk out with like 3 or 4 booster packs. And as a 19-year-old kid, like I was just like, that's free. I was just getting free money. You know what I mean? Because I've always been a hustler. So I would get these. I would pay like $7 to enter the tournament, and that would leave with like, $30 worth of booster packs. And inside the booster packs would be sometimes cards worth $50 to $100, right?
Oh, nice.
And as a 19-year-old kid, this is just a huge hustle for me to spend on drugs and alcohol. And so, I had a girlfriend at the time, right? But I never told her that I played Yu-Gi-Oh, right? So I'd always sneak away on the weekends, and she thought it's so funny. She thought I was cheating on her.
That's
so
hysterical.
She followed me secretly to one of the shops in her car, and she's like, I was like, Crystal, like, what the fuck are you doing here? And she's like, oh, I just wanted to see what you're doing. And she's like, what's this shop? I was like, it's a fucking card
great.
shop. I was
love
like, what are you doing here? Why are you following me? She's like, oh, and then she starts crying. She's like, I thought you were cheating on me, and I didn't know. I was like, no, bitch, I'm running these Yu-Gi-Oh hustles, ho. And I remember she was so happy when she found out I wasn't cheating on her, which I was cheating on her, but she was just
You're not cheating. You're just a dork.
I wasn't cheating. I wasn't cheating on her at that time, but
Oh, jeez.
And
my God.
yeah, I always made her, Vince, you're into the dom stuff. So like I'd always tell her specifically, like, you got to go to Chick-fil-A now to make up for your problem. You make up for your, you got to make up for your sins here.
It's a very soft punishment. Yeah.
I said, you need to go to Chick-fil-A. You need to go get me a number 1. And you need to make sure that the drink is 50% high C fruit punch and 50% diet lemonade.
Extra fucking napkins.
Extra napkins, and don't forget the Texas Pete. And I swear to God, if that shit's not here in 30 minutes, we're gonna have some trouble.
That's right. You're getting it.
Happily skirted into her car and got that fucking shit for me. I won the tournament, went home and banged her. It was a solid W.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
somebody asked me that in the chat yesterday. Like, do your plates bring you Ben and Jerry's? Bitch, that's the least thing they bring me.
Yeah, of course. Okay, my current girl now, she buys me all sorts of shit that I don't want. She bought me a Coach belt. She's like, I got you a belt from Coach. I was like, babe, I don't fucking need this, but thanks. I mean, it's just like,
Thank you, baby.
she's always buying me shit that I would never buy, but it's nice. Japanese girls, she designs the shoes for the first lady of Japan. So she's got a little money.
Nice.
And
She did that? That's cool.
yeah, what's her name? Fucking Aki Abe. Aki Abe is Shinzo Abe's wife, and she designs the shoes for Aki Abe.
Nice.
Well done.
So I got that going for me.
It's a fantastic cup, Atham.
How long are you together with that girl, John?
Dude, the longest girl I've ever been with in my life, 3 years.
Yeah, that's the same one who was next to you during our first interview, isn't she?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh. Cool.
What the
Well, that's pretty awesome. Like, even us, like, we're red pill aware and we have long-term bonds. Not necessarily, yeah, well, you are in a relationship. I'm not necessarily in a relationship. I call it more the bottom plate. That's what she is. But I mean, it's living proof that even after being red pill aware and things like that, you can still, have relationships with women. Well,
the relationships are that much better.
Yes.
I mean, that's just how it goes. I mean,
it's better for them too, because we're the breath of fresh air they're looking for.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's like
that also. No, I would just say also, whatever it is, it's on your terms.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what red pill is about.
Everything
Whatever
is on your
you
terms.
want, it's on your terms, as opposed to being one of those guys who's like, it's not what you want. You're not living the life you want. Your life is not what you want because it's not on your terms, and it completely destroys all your other relationships with everyone else. Like you know, you've got friends with men, and you want to. I don't know. You want to do something. You want to go on a hike, and they're like, "Oh, you gotta check the boss first." And
Jack was just talking about that with the the red pill loneliness in his last one of his last broadcasts.
That is true. And the thing is, well,
Mm-hmm.
I will not. I would not be brief, so I won't.
No,
my God.
But I mean, you sometimes do get lonely. I mean, I've got you guys are all across the pond. I mean, Jonathan is on the other side of the world. Most guys are still beta. They are. They're pussy begging betas. So when you go to a party or whatever and you're flirting with somebody, you're gonna get cock blocked or you're gonna get amogged. It's not even amogged because they're fucking betas, but they just try to be interesting. And
The
it's
average guy
fucking annoying.
doesn't do shit, man. They don't want to do anything. Hey, want to go grab a beer? Oh, I'm busy.
Yeah,
I'm
my wife.
gaming.
I have to check with the boss. Unless you're talking about fucking Bruce Springsteen, that should never come out of your fucking mouth.
Or Darth Vader.
Exactly.
This is the reality. It depends on where you live, and not the boss thing. Just where you live. But yeah, if you're gonna do the red pill thing for a while, initially, like this has been my experience, you are going to be alone because very few other men, even men who are successful with women, they're not doing so from they're not looking at it from. They're going to end up with, they're going to end up settling down. Like, oh, I got to retire from my pickup ways. I got to settle down and stop fooling around and be a child and whatever. And then they go marry a single mom, and then you never hear from them again. I think mainly it is if you're living life on your terms and you're an independent guy, you're a bachelor who's living life and doing what you want. Other men do not want to be associated with you. They don't want to be around you because it reminds them that there was another way and they didn't take it. And so they're not going to want to be around you.
I think that's people just don't want to hang out with your leaf collecting ass. I got a lot of guys that fucking want to hang out with me. I don't know.
No. It's just like it.
Oh, damn, that was good.
Well, no, it's and I think that's really bad for the married guys who married the wrong woman.
Yeah.
And they're hanging out with you and they see you as a bachelor who's just loving life. They don't want to be reminded of that because they're trying to rationalize like, no one else could have seen this. No one else could have done differently. I did the best I could. And then there's someone else who's like, you could have done better. And they're like, I don't want to deal with that. Just push that away. I mean, either that or they're like, they look at this and they're like, oh, dude, that's totally better. That's totally worse than marrying a girl who's going through the epiphany phase at age 31. Who wanted to pop out a kid who's allergic to peanut butter and every other food on, gluten-free. It's got to be gluten-free, can't eat peanut butter, and, has to be vaccinated for every single frickin' thing on the planet, including chicken pox. God help us. Back in my day, it's like you had parties so everyone could get infected with chicken pox and the measles or whatever. So.
Damn. Like some whole virus party going on. That sounds like a very sick orgy to me.
No. Kids would all get sick together, so the parents could all deal with it together, and then you were all done. Everyone was immune. Now they all do you shove a bunch of stuff into your kid's veins that you don't even know what's in it, and then your kid can't ever have gluten again for the next, the rest of their life.
What are you talking about? What the fuck? What are you talking about?
We're talking about kids not having gluten, but I don't eat gluten anyway.
We're talking about how kids. We're talking about kids.
You're gluten free. What?
I eat meat and eggs.
Yeah, meat.
Well, I guess by definition you are. Yeah.
No, we're talking about how freaking kids in the United States can't have a peanut butter sandwich or anything gluten because they all just their parents are
idiots.
Well, they don't have kids until they're in their 30s. And then they pop out the one or two kids, and then they don't ever give them peanut butter, so they get allergic to peanut butter. And then they don't ever have gluten, so they can't have gluten. And then they do the weird freak vaccines where, I don't know.
What are you talking about?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I didn't think
DJ,
so.
you're a weird guy.
I'm weird. Dude, you gotta come. First of all, you think I'm weird? You need to come to the.
Jesus Christ!
I'm talking about the Pacific Northwest, dude. You gotta come over here, where every other person is freaking gluten intolerant. They're lactose intolerant. Okay, I am lactose tolerant, gluten tolerant. I can eat peanut butter. Do you realize how many
murder machine?
People...
We're not eating peanut butter.
Yeah, I'm saying that every other person on this freaking region is like that.
You know what the weirdest thing is? I was looking
at leaves.
Did they touch you in the swimsuit? I was looking.
Show us on the doll where they touched you.
I forget what brand
they took.
There you go. I forget what brand it was. I was looking at the ingredients of this peanut jar. I'm like, motherfucker, why is there sunflower seed oil in a fucking peanut butter jar? What the fuck? It should be peanut. It's just peanuts, water, and salt. Leave it alone. You don't need sugar. You don't need all this other shit.
Yeah, all I can say is, John, you got to come over to the Pacific Northwest.
I am okay.
And just spend just spend 2 weeks here, and you'll be like, TJ, I understand. I understand
now.
I don't agree with the leaves, but I understand. It's either leaves or just genocide.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
TJ, do you do the makeup of your leaves, or do they do that themselves?
I just took a bunch of leaves from the local trees and put them in because I'm celebrating the autumn period because it's a beautiful area. That's it.
Such a dork. The autumn is coming in, so I fucking collect leaves. Go drink a pumpkin spice latte like the rest of us.
Okay,
for yourself.
I don't ever drink pumpkin spice lattes or pumpkin spice beers.
But do you wear Uggs?
Pumpkin cider is pretty good.
No Uggs, and I actually have a chainsaw. I've actually gone out into the woods and chopped wood. I have earned the right to wear this flannel. I've chopped wood in this flannel.
That is true.
So I don't want to hear
threatening us, Master Leaf Collector? It's treason then.
It's treason.
I'm stumped. I'm stumped right now.
I am the Senate.
No.
Atham, how are you doing over there?
Let me show you my leaves.
Oh, yeah.
These are the only leaves I collect.
Fucking jerky. TJ, TJ, look that up.
That's funny.
Yeah. No, it's genuinely the situation where it's just awful. I don't know what to tell you. People say I'm weird. I'm like, yeah, if you lived in my area and you thought everyone else was insane, you'd be weird too. There's no running around it. Nick, where's Nick? Is Nick still in the chat?
He's still in the chat.
Yeah, Nick Shoelander, you tell me, is it me? It's them, right?
It's you, TJ.
Say what? Say what?
He said it's you.
It's you.
I think
there's a guy who lives in California.
There should be a new.
Technically, I'm in Nevada.
Yeah, there should be a new sphere, a new area of the sphere.
The leaf towel sphere.
Leaf towel. But instead of buying them, they collect them in the woods, which is way cheaper than buying dolls.
That is true. Well, you got to be careful of that bark; it scratches.
Yeah, true. Always wear a rubber, kids.
Exactly.
Bark scratches.
That's right. No gloving, no loving.
Oh God.
I wish I was invited by that principle.
80%.
No comment.
No comment. Awesome.
Guys, hit the like.
Oh yeah, thank you,
button.
Rob. You're long overdue, but have at it.
Yeah, hit the like button, guys. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Share this with people you think that would benefit from it. We would appreciate it, and so would your friends, enemies, whoever. So come on, guys. Hit the like button.
That's right.
Hit it. Tap it. Tap it like TJ would tap a leaf.
Leaf tap a leaf. Leaf tapping. There you go. Harder.
You're all a bunch of heathen rats.
We're degenerates, absolutely.
Degenerate
and proud of it.
How dare we actually have sex with women? How dare we?
I didn't
know.
even
Don't you know that there are
I didn't even know that people
man up and
leaves.
marry those sex bots.
What was that? What was that, John?
I didn't know people collected leaves.
They do. They do.
I
They
don't
do.
collect, it's not a collection of leaves.
No,
just-
it's like a
John, you got to understand.
Do you braid them into your hair, TJ?
Oh, God damn it! I'm gonna show you my leaf and fuck you.
I should get drinks. I should really get drunk on this.
Braid them into your hair.
Yeah.
No. I live in a very beautiful area. I'm not
It
gonna
writes itself.
It writes itself.
Yeah, knives and tents all over.
Yeah.
No, I know what TJ's saying. I mean, it is a
For
good.
example.
That's
Oh,
well,
man.
that's fall.
The
That is
spots on
autumn.
That one.
Well, no,
that
that's
can-
autumn right there, man. I understand what he's saying.
Right. I'm saying
Double Ds.
we celebrate the local town has an autumn leaf parade that's occurring this Saturday. I am not going to be there.
Oh, cool.
Because you're a band?
Oh, Christ, hitting below the belt, John.
Oh my God! Right in the cojones.
No, I'm
No,
just sorry.
give us
When I smell blood, I go for it. I mean, really, Aaron set the tempo.
Oh,
He makes
whoa.
fun of TJ.
Say what? What?
He was asked to leave.
Leave well enough alone.
TJ hasn't left.
Well,
Oh my
TJ, when you're out here, actually no, there won't be too much leaf changing. So the color. So no, never mind. Sorry. If you're out here more towards the end of October, November, then you get the fall
Yeah.
foliage. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm just saying the area I live in is very beautiful, got great autumn colors, and it looks like it has blood of communists all over the leaves.
Communist.
I'm gonna celebrate the death of communism prematurely because it's taken over the country.
Has been for a very long time. We
Yeah.
have to do our episode about this soon.
Mhm.
We really do.
We're gonna purge them. There'll be a statue of Joseph McCarthy over every town. In
That's right.
That would be
Leave.
fun.
It
Yeah.
would
Like
be.
everybody does realizes that feminism has its roots in communism, right?
Oh, it's a CIA. It's total CIA.
It's a psyop.
and
yeah.
CIA was
Psyop.
communist. They were
And
all
the only ones
communists.
dumb enough to fall for it are women.
Yeah. Oh my God, Ocasio Cortez. That woman is eyes and teeth only.
Well, not only that, but I'm
Some
just
hair.
thinking, like, you know, I wouldn't trust her to make me a drink in a bar in Bronx. So I'm
She
gonna-
wouldn't. No, they wouldn't know how.
No, I'd say, can I speak to the manager?
I'd like to speak to a manager, please.
Yeah, exactly. Check, please.
Indeed.
I would have
Oh,
banged
okay.
her. In her younger years, I would have.
I'd still bang her
have-
now. She needs a proper banging. You look at her.
Well, I was
corpulent
about.
boyfriend.
I was just John. I was just about to say that. Yep.
Dude, I mean, look at that guy. That guy is not piping her down
No.
good.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Absolutely
Take
not.
Any of these,
Yeah.
take any of these, like these, whatever you want to call them. They're bad mouthing white guys, and then you look and see they're dating beta white guys. I'm like, yeah, exactly. No wonder you hate white men. You're dating like the bottom tier of our group, right? So
Yeah, go for the leaf collector.
yeah, exactly.
Every Wednesday.
Yeah, every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time.
That's right. That's
You know,
pretty
I
darn
wouldn't be surprised at one point one of them was watching this and like, I hate myself, but I'm gonna watch it anyways. Click. You
Mm.
know, it's gonna happen. They can't resist it. It's a temptation that's beyond their capacity to restrain themselves.
Hmm.
Leave me talk to the manager. Okay, okay, Adam.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, see? Oh,
yeah. You talk
she's
like
adorable.
a
Bang away the
because
angst.
you're part of a group. Yeah, you gotta be a sissy.
I think you can bang the communism out of her.
Probably.
Dude, that's what I want to do.
You can
I
read-
wanna
Women don't
bang
stand
the
for anything.
communism
Listen,
right the
women don't
fuck
stand
out
for
of 'em.
anything. If you are a guy and you're dicking her down good, she's gonna be like, she's
She's
gonna
gonna be worried about anything else.
She's not. They
No,
have no
it's
identity.
true.
They have
That's
no
true.
identity. Like my girl likes UFC. You know why my girl likes UFC? Because I fucking like UFC. I go to all the fucking the Marvel movies. You know who comes with me? My girl. Why? Because where's she gonna go? Who's she gonna hang out with? Who's she gonna hang out with that's better than me? She likes Marvel because I like Marvel. Okay, I like fucking live streaming on the internet. What does she like to do? She likes watching live streaming on the internet. Okay, it's just you have to realize that. Like I'm a huge Trump guy. She likes Trump. She supports Trump too, and she's Japanese. Okay,
She's not making America great again. She's not even American.
You're absolutely right. Like we have so much in common. No. You have something in common with me. That's how this works. All these guys with their, I've got something in common with her. No.
I don't have anything in common with you. I just
You
want
have
you
no
to
idea.
shut up
I'm just
and derobe.
You guys have no idea how many men in my region will go seek out women activities in order to find commonality with girls that they. I'm not making this up. Where they're like, they went to a cooking class. You want to pick up.
You're killing me, DJ.
Kill me, Sauls.
It's so true though, because it's because like I have a guy who called me and we had a consultation, right? And we're talking on the consultation, and he's like, "Well, I can't talk philosophy or smart stuff with my girlfriend." I'm like, "Dude, are you homosexual? Like, she's a fucking woman. You don't fucking get that? They don't like that shit. Okay, a woman can name all the Kardashians. I bet you the average woman couldn't name 7 U.S. presidents." Okay, but she can name all the fucking Kardashians.
Very rare.
If I asked her what branch is the Federal Reserve, what part of the government is, she'll have to sit there and think, not knowing that it is not part of any piece of the government at all. So it's just like these guys are just clueless. There's clues. You have to realize that women want the attention of males. Okay, that's what they live and breathe and die for. That's why they wear this uncomfortable ass heels. That's why they squeeze themselves into dresses, corsets. That's why they let us fucking tie them up and do all sorts of nasty shit to them. Okay, because they want male attention and they'll do anything to get it, including faking to be interested in some dumbass group that she goes to, faking to be interested in football, faking to be interested in sports. Okay, faking to be interested in Dungeons and Dragons. How many of you guys have had a Dungeons and Dragons meetup, and then like some girl is there, and you're like, pick up the D20, and she picks up like a D6 and rolls it, like, oh my god, you're fucking.
There are some out there, but they're very few, John. They're very few. You are correct.
Yeah, they're groupies for everything, and the reality is they're not there for the sport or whatever at hand. They're there for the attention.
Yeah, it's true.
They're there for the D.
John is preaching truth.
A very smart and intelligent man. Like you can say whatever you want about John. Like he is. Oh my God! You're a character, man. You're a character, but you're
I do what I fucking want.
That was
always right.
You're always right. Lettered truth. Red lettered truth.
I'm the fucking man. The rest of you guys just got to catch up and realize.
And he's humble too.
Yes. Well, how can you not be in that amazing? Now, John, what's your take on the new robe?
I hate it.
I'll tell
you a story, okay? So I talked to Rich Cooper, right? And Rich is like, hey, if you're going to wear a robe, whatever, it's fine. Do your thing. He's like, go buy an expensive robe. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll go take it. So I bought this fucking Versace. It's a Versace robe. I paid it's like $550 after taxes or something for it, right? As soon as I tried on the robe, I was like, I fucking hate this thing, right? It's made of towel, and my other robe is made of like this like wool kind of, not wool, like a polyester cotton mix. It's so soft to the touch. This thing is like a fucking rough patch of pubic hair, like all over my body. And I get in there, and I'm with and I'm talking to some smug prick, and I make more money than this guy. I know I do. He's a fucking GM of fucking Versace, and he's being a smug prick to me. And he's just like, trying to and I was high, I was high the whole vacation. I was a little anxious or whatever. Whacked. So he talks to me and he's like, try it on. He's like, yeah. He's like, yo, you like it? He's like, I can understand if it's not your budget, whatever. I was like, listen, motherfucker, what the fuck did you just say to me? And he triggered my masculinity card, and I was like, bag that shit up, bitch. Like put it in a nice bag, put a ribbon on that thing. And I ended up buying it. But as soon as I bought it, I was like, this fucking thing sucks. I hate this thing.
You kind
But I
of bought
mean-
out of spite.
I mean, it's pimping. I like this the tassel. This part is really cool. Like
Oh yeah.
this is what I tie myself. Like this is what I tie around the waist.
Okay.
And, and it's pimping. People come over, see me like casually lounging in a Versace robe because I like this is not a shtick. Like I legit am chilling all day in a robe. Like when girls come over, I'm like usually naked under it, and I'm just like. What's
Okay,
going
guys
on?
in the chat, you need to type 1 if John should bring back the old robe.
Yeah.
Bring
Okay,
that
John.
bitch out of retirement.
John, that's the whole thing, right? Like when you've got it made and you're kind of a minimalist, the only thing you'll probably do is hang under your robe, play video games, eat well, work out a bit, and fuck bitches.
Well, I've been doing the robe lounging since I was 25. You guys I'm half Trinidadian, okay? And if you ever know about Trinidadian people, they are professional at being lazy as fuck. Like we know how to lounge and just chill the fuck out. I've been robe pimping since I was 25. And let me tell you something. When you're in good shape too, and you got rock solid game, when you show up at the front door and you open it and you're in your robe, how many guys have the balls to do that? And these girls are like, who the fuck is this guy? And then when we get to my bed and we lay down and she's like, are you naked under there? I'm like, well, there's only one way to find out. And I'm telling you, every single time the girls, they never go for the chest. They never go for the stomach. They always go straight for the crotch. And
Right in the swimsuit area.
And they find out. And I'm just like, I told you, bitch, you fucking sexual harasser. And
You got me threed.
And then I just take off their clothes and just bang bang bang. It's good to go. It's
okay,
pimping.
John, do me some if you're into it. Do me some quick 5-minute advice.
If you're into it, do me.
No, 5 minutes. What? Okay, I told Rob about this, but I had this polygamous thing going on with 2 girls.
Mhm.
And I nuked one of them because she was back talking and I didn't have time for that. Well, we matched on Tinder and I made a reference. She's coming by on Tuesday. And my first thought is this. She walks in and I'm going to say, why aren't you naked? And if she back talk again, just send her away. Just, okay, bye.
Nah, that's amateur hour, man. You gotta fucking listen. You gotta be like the snake charmer. You gotta
Really?
slightly
Jack,
hook 'em
listen to John.
and then give them the slow reel, and that hook is gonna go gug, 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 and next thing you know, she's just gonna be 100% connected. But you can't listen. You can't with this. A lot of the new guys, because a lot of the new guys with ego, they quickly want to say like, oh, she didn't do what I say, so I nexted her, and that's it, right? But
Well,
that's
not necessarily she didn't do what I say. She canceled about 3 or 4 times. And after that, it was like, you know what? Goodbye.
well, if she's coming over, she's already pretty much made peace with one part of her mind or the other that she's gonna have sex with you.
True.
Okay. So your job is just not to fuck it up. You need to make the atmosphere nice enough, and you need to make the seduction happen. Now, I mean, getting there and be like, "Why aren't you naked, bitch?" And like, you don't have the clout. You don't have you don't have the stature to do that, nor the game yet to do that. But I mean, I hooked up with this one chick one time, right? I'll never forget this chick. So she like was supposed to meet me at some place, and then she didn't. And then I was like, what the fuck? And then she's like, oh God, I'm so sorry. I was like, blah, I did this. And she was just, she was just full of shit. I was like, well, you need to come. I was like, well, you just lost date privileges and you can come straight to my house. Like I was going to take you on a date, but you want to act like a hoe. I'm going to treat you like a hoe. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, so I was like, gave her my address. I was like, come here. So she comes over, I answer the door in my robe. Right. And she is, looking real good. Whew, she was like probably 95 pounds, bro. She was skinny. She was fucking petite. She was like 5 foot and little petite thing, sexy as fuck. Not an ounce of fat on her flat stomach. Great little ass. I have to pull up the pictures of my handprint, this imprinted on her red outline on her ass. And it was literally, if you got your game tight and she wants she literally walked through the door. Again, this is not some pig too. This is a fucking hot girl. Not like I have to rationalize she's hot. Like this girl's hot as fuck. And she walks through the door. She's like, "So this is your bed?" I was like, "Yep." And she's looking at me, and I just pull her towards me, and I just start making out with her. I'm butt naked under the fucking the fucking robe, right? So we start making out, and then that right there set the tone. You know what she did? Immediately within like 60 seconds of us making out, she did it. She dropped to her knees, whipped my dick out, and started sucking. And I was like, "This girl is a fucking professional whore, and I love every moment of this." So you have to set the tone with your actions. You can't be in like dictatorish. That's just whoever's setting the ultimatums is the one from the weaker standpoint.
Yes and no. Yes and no. To a certain point, I agree with you. But there comes a point where even I'm like, when you cancel for 4 times, so you still want to come over, then it's on my terms. And if you're going to have an attitude, then I don't want to waste time on you. It's more time efficiency. Like you're still going to be, you're still going to have an attitude. You're still going to be arrogant and things like that. Or you know what I mean? Then
but you can't be aggressive like that when she comes into your house.
No, not aggressive. More the playful way of saying from like
because you'll botch the seduction. I'm telling you, you're gonna botch it. You're gonna botch it. Like you have to sell them the lies that they want to hear. Okay, why do you think all these women watch Oprah and Dr. Phil? All these people that every man on this panel knows that these motherfuckers are full of shit. Why do you think the body positive movement is so popular? Even though like having fat on your body is literally the worst fucking thing you could do other than like shooting up heroin. Okay, it's because they want to believe the lies. You can't come in there and be like, "Bitch, I'm a fucking alpha male hoe, and how dare you disrespect me?" And she's gonna be like, "Yo, this guy's a fucking psychopath." But you just got to realize she is a woman. She's being led by her emotions at 24/7, 365. She doesn't want to confront reality. If she did, she'd be a man. All right. But she's not because she's a fucking chick. So when she comes over, you can't be fucking aggressive and be like, "Oh, bitch, what is this?" You have to just set the mood. You have to read in between the lines. She's coming over. Right. And she's going to read in between the lines, too, if you answer the door with the house smelling good, you're looking good, you're wearing your robe, and there's a laptop open on your bed, and like you live in a studio, so as soon as she comes in, she sees all that.
No, not all that. There's still stairs.
Okay, so then you lead her and you set the tone. You have to indirectly let her know what you're about. And again, like if she's coming over, there's like a 95 of a fucking, at least for me. If she's coming over, she's getting fucked, and you just got to know how to close the deal. You got listen, you got to be, it's all about having the finesse. It's not about being a barbarian about it. You have to be able to.
This is not a new one. Huh? This is not a new one. I've banged this one, dozens of times.
Oh, well, then that doesn't even matter. I'm talking about fucking getting a fresh kill.
Oh, yeah. No, I was talking like when it's a fresh one, you don't do that. Of course not. No, this is a girl who I banged dozens of times. And she then canceled about 4. So then I pushed her away. And now she's like, "Oh, I want to come over." But now I'm like, if you're not doing it on my terms, not even now, then I'm done with you. See what I'm saying? With new girls, of course not. New girls, you lead them in. But this is an old one who I already banged dozens of times. But she had an attitude, and then I was like, okay, next. And now she wants to come back. So now I'm like, she's showing up if she shows up. My patience has run out with her because 1, I've already fucked her. 2, I've already wasted time on her. 3, this is, last chance, actually.
Well, I mean, that's different. If you're just trying to, I'm talking about if you're trying to, if you're trying to get the fresh kill.
The new ones are way different, of course. Yeah. The new ones are all.
But even itself, getting there and getting all bent out of shape and stuff. Unless first of all, I mean, your bitch management is shitty. If this is happening, okay,
happened once.
And secondly, you're probably not piping her down good enough because if she, because they don't get out of hand if they're getting proper dick. They'll be like, yo.
Well, she came back.
I mean that is true. That is true.
Maybe you should find another dick.
Maybe. I mean, that could be a possibility too. But
Mhm.
you know, at the end of the day, it's never necessarily a good thing to do. Like to go that aggressive route. It's not worth it.
True. Well, especially that.
It's definitely not worth it.
This is why you need to have a bottom plate. No issues. No issues. Am I right, Vince?
What was that?
isn't it?
Okay.
You need to have a bottom plate, then you'll have no issues ever again. You just go like, "Hey, I'd like this," and you get it.
Ah, there you go. All right, gentlemen, we're coming up on the 3-hour mark, and my ass is dragging. I'm getting tired.
No worries.
So,
What were you
yeah.
drinking earlier?
Well, I first started off with a Guinness, and then I promptly spilled that motherfucker, which is why I disappeared for about 5 to 10 minutes.
Mhm.
And then after that was gin and tonic with a little bit of Italian soda. It was blood orange soda.
Okay,
So,
that's what I was looking at.
yeah, they were tasty. So, all right. Atham, where can everyone find you?
You can find me. No, Instagram.
Instagram.
Atham.
That's your main
Yeah.
social media. Okay. All right. Cool. Very good. You go over and check out Atham stuff. He's got really good cave diving and spelunking. I don't think you have videos. I don't think so. That you're mainly.
I have a couple. Yeah.
You have a couple. Okay. All right. Good. I have to peruse that a little bit more. But from a little bit that I did, I enjoyed that greatly. John, where can everyone find you?
modernlifedating.com/body language. We are launching the body language mastery course this weekend, 5 days of enrollment only. This is a 3-week interactive crash course that gives you a head-to-toe breakdown of all female body language, and then over 80 hours of fucking over 80 hours of fucking coaching for over the span of 3 weeks, and then lifetime access to the men's only Facebook group that helps you in all your pursuits of money, muscles, and women. Go to modernlifedating.com/body language. We have got you covered. That cat is amazing.
It's Mowgli.
That dude, Mowgli.
Mowgli, yeah.
Dude, they used to call me Mowgli in high school because they used to have long hair.
Oh yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's funny.
Fantastic. Okay, cool. All right. Who's next? We've got. Stop it. Shh. Quiet. He's back. He's back talking. There he is. You can see his head. He's back talking now.
What is that breed of cat called?
He is a Russian blue.
That is a beautiful cat.
You like? Here, let's see him again. Hang on. You want a box? Come on, let's
cat,
box.
half
Let's
asshole.
box. Come on.
He's a little fat too. I like it.
He's a chunky monkey, man. He's like 15 pounds or some shit. Yeah.
That cat is beautiful, man.
Yes, he is.
Look at him.
And he's pissed.
He
I'm
is.
going to murder you in my sleep.
He is uber
He's
pissed
shocked
right now.
to discover gambling here.
Yeah. He's uber pissed. Yeah, he was a rescue. Jack, how about yourself? Where can we find you at?
YouTube channel in the chat and my Twitter, where you can see all my red pill meathead tweets like "bitch, get out." Nah. There.
That's funny.
Twitter is in the chat as well, where you
All right.
can where I usually shoot the shit. And on YouTube, I do Red Evening every Friday with Rob, the man upstairs.
Yes, and that brings me another thing as well. If because TJ and Rob will be flying out this Friday, and they'll be in Friday evening. If we're still awake, we'll definitely be on your show.
That would be cool. John, do you have? Did you check your DMs for Friday?
No. What's going on Friday?
Oh, because during Red Evening, Rob is probably going to be on a flight or is not available, and it was.
Oh no, yeah, we'll talk after this.
Cool. So yeah, that's about it. My
Okay.
YouTube and my Twitter. That's where you'll find
Bless
most.
you, TJ. All right, fantastic. Rob, how about yourself?
You guys, well, most of you guys already know, but for those that are not in the know, you can find me at robsays.net. That's my flagship. That's where all my links are. There it is in the chat. You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. I'm taking one from John here where, I watched him one day for, I don't know, 5-6 minutes. He's over there talking shit to guys while he's playing video games. And I'm like, man, look at this fucking James Brown
That's cool.
motherfucker right here. Earning the dough, talking shit, playing video games. And I'm like, I'm not really into the video game scene so much anymore. But you know what? I can still, multi-stream to multiple platforms. So I got on Twitch. You can find all that shit there. I even started, it's my Go Buy My Beer fund. So if you guys don't want to see me drinking Bud Light, you want to see me drinking something better, you can find me on Patreon. It's all in my links on my about page on robsays.net. So check me out there.
Excellent. And I just threw up TJ's information in the chat there and on the banner. So that's where you find him.
Leafcollector.com.
Autumn leaf collector.
Barrel rider.
Leafcheckingamerica.com.
PatriotLeafCollector.com.
Very important.
Absolutely.
Leafs 2020.
And I have many writing projects that I'm doing now. We'll be doing 2 of them actually this upcoming weekend and week with both Rob and TJ. We'll be putting out some Patreon posts as well, and some interesting projects in that regard. But do please go to the website, masculinegeek.com. Up in the right-hand corner, you're going to see a little text box. Sign up for our newsletter. Every Monday morning, you're going to get interesting, novel information that you're not going to get anywhere else. We don't repeat content. It's all fresh and new. You start off your week right with the Masculine Geek Monday newsletter. Go do that now. And that's going to conclude this week's Masculine Geek number 36. I want to welcome everyone, all the guests. Aaron, when you see this later, thank you again for coming on. Atham, thanks for coming in. John, as always,
Guys,
a pleasure.
hit the like button.
And yes, Rob, go ahead, say that again.
Hit the like button, guys. Share this with people you think that would get a kick out of it, that would enjoy it, that would benefit from it. That helps us the most. So share it, hit the like button, hit subscribe, do all that stuff, guys.
Well, what helps us the most would be money, but we'll take the likes.
Yeah, we'll take the likes.
Exactly. Shut up, Mowgli. And Jack, once again, a pleasure to see you as well. And we'll be seeing you hopefully on Friday night as well.
That will be awesome.
All right, everyone. Good night. And actually, we're going to be doing a lot of broadcasting starting Saturday night on through the remaining of the next week. So just stay tuned. Stay tuned by the newsletter. Keep your eye out on Twitter. Make sure you have your periscopes primed and ready to go, and YouTube as well. So be prepared.
Good night, folks.